NHL 7:30 p.m. Washington Capitals take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Capitals on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 950. Flyers on Internet 940. In Champions League action, 3 p.m. Barcelona takes on Bayern Munich on Sirius XM and Internet channels 157. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM sports schedule for Wednesday, October the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Indiana Pacers. Pistons on Sirius 106, XM 212, and Internet 888. Pacers on Internet 891. 7:30 p.m. Atlanta Hawks face the Brooklyn Nets. Hawks on Sirius 119, XM 213, and Internet 880. Nets on Internet 882. 7:30 p.m. Miami Heat take on the Orlando Magic. Heat on Sirius 137, XM 214, and Internet 895. Magic on Internet 901. 7:30 p.m. Toronto Raptors face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Raptors on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 907. Cavaliers on Internet 885. 7:30 p.m. Philadelphia 76ers face the Milwaukee Bucks. 76ers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 902. Bucks on Internet 897. 8 p.m. New Orleans Pelicans take on the Chicago Bulls. Pelicans on Sirius 139, XM 216, and Internet 898. Bulls on Internet 884. 8 p.m. Houston Rockets face the Charlotte Hornets. Rockets on Sirius 138, XM 215, and Internet 890. Hornets on Internet 883. 9 p.m. Utah Jazz face the Memphis Grizzlies. Jazz on Sirius 160, XM 217, and Internet 908. Grizzlies on Internet 894. 10 p.m. Portland Trail Blazers face the Golden State Warriors. Blazers on Sirius 106, XM 212, and Internet 904. Warriors on Internet 889. 10 p.m., LA Clippers face the Phoenix Suns. Clippers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 892. Suns on Internet 903. In NCAA college football, 7 p.m., Kennesaw State faces Liberty. Kennesaw State on Internet 971. Liberty on Internet 970. 7:30 p.m., Jacksonville State faces Middle Tennessee on Internet 972.
Get the latest news, opinion, and analysis from MMA to boxing and the professional wrestling world 24/7. SiriusXM Fight Nation, SiriusXM 156, and the SXM app.
For SiriusXM Sports, I'm Ryan Payton. You know, Novak Djokovic has become only the third person to hold all 4 Grand Slam tennis titles at one time. 2 players have completed that feat in a calendar year. Only one has done it twice. His name, Rod Laver. In 1962, he competed as an amateur and became the first player since Don Budge in 1938 to complete the calendar slam. His hardest test came on clay, winning 3 straight 5-setters en route to the French Open title. In all, there were 22 wins for Laver in 1962. Now, until 1968, pros were not allowed to play in Grand Slam tournaments. When that rule was changed, the Open era began. This, of course, meant Laver was banned from the majors for 5 years of his career. But once the doors opened for professionals, he burst onto the Grand Slam scene. He won the first Wimbledon of the Open era in 1968, defeating top-ranked amateur Arthur Ashe in the semifinal in straight sets, then went on to win the final. Laver would win a total of 11 Grand Slams as both a pro and an amateur at this time, despite being banned from Grand Slam play for 5 of his best years. He won 6 doubles Grand Slams, 3 mixed doubles titles, and he also led his Australian team to 5 Davis Cup victories. One of the best, an icon in Rod Laver. For SiriusXM Sports, I'm Ryan Payton.
Mad Dog Sports Radio has the best sports talk in the business, covering sports with a passion and knowledge you need. Mad Dog Sports Radio, SiriusXM 86, and the SXM app.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM sports schedule for Wednesday, October the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Indiana Pacers. Pistons on Sirius 106, XM 212, and Internet 888. Pacers on Internet 891. 7:30 p.m., Atlanta Hawks face the Brooklyn Nets. Hawks on Sirius 119, XM 213, and Internet 880. Nets on Internet 882. 7:30 p.m., Miami Heat take on the Orlando Magic. Heat on Sirius 137 XM 214 and Internet 895. Magic on Internet 901. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Raptors on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 907. Cavaliers on Internet 885. 7:30 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers face the Milwaukee Bucks. 76ers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 902. Bucks on Internet 897. 8 p.m., New Orleans Pelicans take on the Chicago Bulls. Pelicans on Sirius 139, XM 216 and Internet 898. Bulls on Internet 884. 8 p.m., Houston Rockets face the Charlotte Hornets. Rockets on Sirius 138, XM 215 and Internet 890. Hornets on Internet 883. 9 p.m., Utah Jazz face the Memphis Grizzlies. Jazz on Sirius 160, XM 217 and Internet 908. Grizzlies on Internet 894. 10 p.m., Portland Trail Blazers face the Golden State Warriors. Blazers on Sirius 106, XM 212 and Internet 904. Warriors on Internet 889. 10 p.m., LA Clippers face the Phoenix Suns. Clippers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 892. Suns on Internet 903. In NCAA college football, 7 p.m., Kennesaw State faces Liberty. Kennesaw State on Internet 971. Liberty on Internet 970. 7:30 p.m., Jacksonville State faces Middle Tennessee on Internet 972. In the NHL, 7:30 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Capitals on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 950. Flyers on Internet 940. In Champions League action, 3 p.m., Barcelona takes on Bayern Munich on Sirius XM and Internet channels 157. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM sports schedule for Wednesday, October the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Indiana Pacers. Pistons on Sirius 106, XM 212 and Internet 888. Pacers on Internet 891. 7:30 p.m., Atlanta Hawks face the Brooklyn Nets. Hawks on Sirius 119, XM 213 and Internet 880. Nets on Internet 882. 7:30 p.m., Miami Heat take on the Orlando Magic. Heat on Sirius 137, XM 214 and Internet 895. Magic on Internet 901. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Raptors on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 907. Cavaliers on Internet 885. 7:30 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers face the Milwaukee Bucks. 76ers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 902. Bucks on Internet 897. 8 p.m., New Orleans Pelicans take on the Chicago Bulls. Pelicans on Sirius 139, XM 216 and Internet 898. Bulls on Internet 884. 8 p.m., Houston Rockets face the Charlotte Hornets. Rockets on Sirius 138, XM 215 and Internet 890. Hornets on Internet 883. 9 p.m., Utah Jazz face the Memphis Grizzlies. Jazz on Sirius 160, XM 217 and Internet 908. Grizzlies on Internet 894. 10 p.m., Portland Trail Blazers face the Golden State Warriors. Blazers on Sirius 106, XM 212 and Internet 904. Warriors on Internet 889. 10 p.m., LA Clippers face the Phoenix Suns. Clippers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 892. Suns on Internet 903. In NCAA college football, 7 p.m., Kennesaw State faces Liberty. Kennesaw State on Internet 971. Liberty on Internet 970. 7:30 p.m., Jacksonville
MLB
State faces
Network
Middle
Radio
Tennessee
is
on
your home
Internet
for
972.
24/7 baseball talk, featuring on-site coverage of every major event from spring training through the World Series and expert analysis from former general managers and players. SiriusXM, Channel 89.
I'm Mick Kern with It Happened in Baseball. Most ball players are just happy that a major league team called out their name at the yearly June amateur draft. To go first overall in the annual exercise is not only an honor, but it also comes with heavy expectations. Recent top picks such as Bryce Harper, Steven Strasburg, and David Price have all become household names. But which former number one choices have met with the most success? As of the 2015 season, former Chicago White Sox slugger Harold Baines tops the list of most major league games played by a former first overall pick. He put on the cleats for 2,830 regular season games for 5 major league teams. Baines is followed by superstar Ken Griffey Jr., who got into 2,671 games, mostly for the Seattle Mariners. Jr., who also played with the Reds and White Sox, hit 630 career home runs and was the 1997 American League MVP. Only Alex Rodriguez has hit more home runs from a first overall pick position. A-Rod has also played the third most number of games for a top draft pick. Fourth on the list with 2,499 games played, is former Atlanta Braves stalwart Chipper Jones. He also hit the third most round trippers for a top pick, launching 468 balls out of the park. The Milwaukee Brewers used the top pick in the 1985 junior amateur draft to nab themselves a B.J. Surhoff. He played 19 seasons and 2,313 games in the Bigs, spending time with the Brewers, Orioles, and Braves. Mike Moore, who was taken first overall by the Mariners back in 1981, got into the most games for a pitcher, taking to the mound 450 times. For It Happened in Baseball, I'm Mick Kern.
On the court and off, your home for the NBA is SiriusXM. Follow all the drama as your favorite team vies for it all. SiriusXM NBA Radio, SiriusXM 86.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM sports schedule for Wednesday, October the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Indiana Pacers. Pistons on Sirius 106, XM 212, and Internet 888. Pacers on Internet 891. 7:30 p.m., Atlanta Hawks face the Brooklyn Nets. Hawks on Sirius 119, XM 213, and Internet 880. Nets on Internet 882. 7:30 p.m., Miami Heat take on the Orlando Magic. Heat on Sirius 137, XM 214, and Internet 895. Magic on Internet 901. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Raptors on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 907. Cavaliers on Internet 885. 7:30 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers face the Milwaukee Bucks. 76ers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 902. Bucks on Internet 897. 8 p.m., New Orleans Pelicans take on the Chicago Bulls. Pelicans on Sirius 139, XM 216, and Internet 898. Bulls on Internet 884. 8 p.m., Houston Rockets face the Charlotte Hornets. Rockets on Sirius 138, XM 215, and Internet 890. Hornets on Internet 883. 9 p.m., Utah Jazz face the Memphis Grizzlies. Jazz on Sirius 160, XM 217, and Internet 908. Grizzlies on Internet 894. 10 p.m., Portland Trail Blazers face the Golden State Warriors. Blazers on Sirius 106, XM 212, and Internet 904. Warriors on Internet 889. 10 p.m., LA Clippers face the Phoenix Suns. Clippers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 892. Suns on Internet 903. In NCAA college football, 7 p.m., Kennesaw State faces Liberty. Kennesaw State on Internet 971. Liberty on Internet 970. 7:30 p.m., Jacksonville State faces Middle Tennessee on Internet 972. In the NHL, 7:30 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Capitals on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 950. Flyers on Internet 940. In Champions League action, 3 p.m., Barcelona takes on Bayern Munich on Sirius XM and Internet channels 157. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM sports schedule for Wednesday, October the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Indiana Pacers. Pistons on Sirius 106, XM 212, and Internet 888. Pacers on Internet 891. 7:30 p.m., Atlanta Hawks face the Brooklyn Nets. Hawks on Sirius 119, XM 213, and Internet 880. Nets on Internet 882. 7:30 p.m., Miami Heat take on the Orlando Magic. Heat on Sirius 137, XM 214, and Internet 895. Magic on Internet 901. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Raptors on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 907. Cavaliers on Internet 885. 7:30 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers face the Milwaukee Bucks. 76ers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 902. Bucks on Internet 897. 8 p.m., New Orleans Pelicans take on the Chicago Bulls. Pelicans on Sirius 139, XM 216, and Internet 898. Bulls on Internet 884. 8 p.m., Houston Rockets face the Charlotte Hornets. Rockets on Sirius 138, XM 215, and Internet 890. Hornets on Internet 883. 9 p.m., Utah Jazz face the Memphis Grizzlies. Jazz on Sirius 160, XM 217, and Internet 908. Grizzlies on Internet 894. 10 p.m., Portland Trail Blazers face the Golden State Warriors. Blazers on Sirius 106, XM 212, and Internet 904. Warriors on Internet 889. 10 p.m., LA Clippers face the Phoenix Suns. Clippers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 892. Suns on Internet 903. In NCAA college football, 7 p.m., Kennesaw State faces Liberty. Kennesaw State on Internet 971, Liberty on Internet 970. 7:30 p.m., Jacksonville State faces Middle Tennessee on Internet 972.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 brings you expert analysis from former players, coaches, and executives, plus reaction to all the latest news on the only 24/7 station dedicated to the National Football League.
I'm Ryan Payton for SiriusXM Sports. For fans of the Maple Leafs who are old enough, February 7th, 1976 was one of the most unforgettable nights of their lives. The Leafs won 11-4 over Boston, but that was not the amazing part. No, what was amazing was that the rout was done almost single-handedly by one man. The man's name, Daryl Sittler. He scored 6 times, added 4 assists for 10 points, which in a single game broke the record of 8 set by Maurice Richard of the Canadiens back in 1944, and it still stands as the all-time record today. Now, just how amazing was it to record 10 points in a game? Well, no one else in the history of the league before or after his performance has even scored 9 points in a game. He also became only the 8th player in NHL history to record 6 goals in one single game. He was the first guy to do that since Red Berenson in 1968, and is another that no one has done since. He was in his first season as Leafs captain when he did that. With a little help from his historic performance, he reached the 100-point plateau in the 75-76 campaign, recording 41 goals and 59 assists. He retired in 1985, and he was elected into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1989. Daryl Sittler, a 10-point night, February 7th, 1976, for the Maple Leafs against Boston. For SiriusXM Sports, I'm Ryan Payton.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 9.
This is the NBA on SiriusXM.
Full steam out of the backcourt, all the way to the rim for a thunderous slam.
Every game, all season long, through the NBA Finals.
Drives, he jump stops, he's off balance, he put it up and in. I don't know how.
Your home for hoops is SiriusXM Radio. Now, let's take you courtside for the game.
Barnes grabs the mic and speaks to the fans in attendance tonight to sort of set the tone for the rest of the season. So we look forward to that. And again, there's sort of ad-libbing here and waiting for this to happen. But pretty good crowd, a lot of anticipation, Warren.
Absolutely, and for good reason. I mean, these are two good teams. They're ready to get off to a good start this season. I mean, Cleveland didn't really make much changes into their roster. They just changed their coach, so it's a whole new system for the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they have a lot of talent, and they're a big team. So the Raptors have to be weary of offensive rebounding, as you have the two twins in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, right? And on the Raptors end, I think continuing to move and make defenders make mistakes. Number one thing you can do.
Absolutely, force the issue. So I see Scotty making his way to center court. He has the mic in his hand, so let's go down.
From the center court, number 4 for your Toronto Raptors, it's Scotty Barnes.
What's up, Toronto? We're so excited to be back on behalf of my teammates, and the whole organization, to be back in front of the best fans in the league. It's Raps 30th. Let's go!
Thanks, Scotty.
The season is launched. He got the point across, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
So his matchup tonight is Mobley. Take us through that.
Mobley, he's one of those twin towers, and he's a younger player, drafted a few years back, long, extremely long, very skilled, but I think where Scotty has a clear advantage is that he can make him fall in love with a jump shot. And that's unfortunately what happens with bigs today in the NBA, is that when you have the length and size and you're giving someone a jump shot, now all those jump shots got to be contested. I think Scotty has at least 20 pounds on Mobley, but Mobley has length. And he averages around 15 for his career, 15 and 8. So good rebounder, Good touch around the rim, but he's trying to be more of a guard where Scotty is a legitimate guard. And if he tries, if he goes into his chest and beats him up, because no one likes to get hit. And if I'm Scotty, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm putting my head down, and I'm going right through Mobley's chest, and I'm going to try and get him into foul trouble. I'm not going to settle for jump shots early on. And if you can do that, get him out the game, then we limit the offensive rebounding for Cleveland.
Countdown to tip-off is next. Raptors Game Night, TSN 1050.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Gary, who lies with reckless abandon every time he's invited out on game night, so he doesn't have to miss game night. Sorry, it's mating season for my pet squid. My e-scooter is out of gas. I ate a beanless burrito? My shoulder blade feels dull. I'm traveling to the 16th century? That's how Gary fans. And we're fans of Gary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
People sometimes ask, sure, you can consolidate people's debts using telekinesis, but what else can you do? As if changing lives isn't enough. Well, I can also use my power to make it rain hot dogs. It's still not as cool as consolidating debts into one easy payment, though.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Ugh, these vacation prices are really adding up. Flights, hotels.
Are your vacation plans going off-road? I'm a Sunwing Financial Advisor, saving you money while giving you more.
Did you say financial advisor?
Yeah, Sunwing Financial Advisor. There are thousands of us across Canada cracking the code on vacation savings so you can crack open that SPF.
Huh, that makes so much financial sense.
Book with your local travel advisor or at...
TSN 1050 is giving away thousands of dollars this football season.
Biggest football game there is.
With First Up's Monday Night Jackpot. Kick off every week by predicting the winner and score of a Monday night game. If you're right, you could win the grand prize jackpot. If no one wins, we'll add even more cash to the pile.
That's the way you do it.
Predict the score, and you can score with First Up's Monday Night Jackpot. Full details at tsn1050.ca.
The Nissan All-In Clear-Out event is on now, where you can lease or finance the 2024 Sentra from 0.99% for 24 months. Plus, qualified Nissan owners may receive up to $500 in loyalty bonus. Go all in with the Nissan Sentra, featuring a beautifully redesigned front grille and sporty design. And the available Around View monitor will give you a 360 view of what's around you and maybe what having superpowers feels like. Conditions apply. See Nissan.ca for details.
Touchdown. Great catch. Give me a high five. 5 minutes later. Interception. Awesome play. Give me a high five. 2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives.
I meant... never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
2-for-1 Pizza. 2-for-1.
Okay, so right now we don't have enough bedrooms.
Needs a real estate person.
And we're expecting our first child.
And party supplies.
We know it's a boy.
A toy store.
They say everything changes with kids.
Insurance.
I think we're going away somewhere to celebrate.
A good travel agent.
Then we'll work on the baby's room.
Paint, furniture, and pizza.
I have some great ideas I heard on the radio.
Shopping. Be where anyone who needs you can meet you. Be on the radio. Your customers are already here.
This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050. The Raptors live here.
And here we go. The Raptors' 30th anniversary season about to tip off. Cleveland in town. Scotty Barnes and the Raptors all set to find out what their level of, expertise is this year. What level they're going to land at. There's all kinds of expectation in terms of Jonesy. I see. Look, Jonesy's setting a speed record to get back into his spot. We're going to go down to Paul Jones and Javon Shepherd in a couple of seconds. And first of all, I want to acknowledge that Jonesy has been here for every Raptors home and season opener. And we go down to him again. Jonesy and Javon Shepherd. Jonesy, happy anniversary.
Thanks, Jim. 30 of them. It's been kind of crazy as I sit here and watch the growth of basketball and watch the way it's changed and watch the way it's become just not a staple for the Raptors, Javon, but in the entire community as they introduce the Cleveland Cavaliers, Dean Wade, Eric Mobley, Jarrett Allen, Donovan Mitchell, and Darius Garland. The lights go down, the building coated in purple. Javon Shepard. I know that's bothering the Michigan guy because that's very northwesterny. But are you okay with that tonight?
We don't acknowledge anything but the maize and blue.
Okay, well
we don't.
We will.
But it's all right tonight. We like it. We like the purple in this building here.
We'll acknowledge the purple tonight with many of the old faithful in the building. Vince Carter, Damon Stoudemire. I just had a chance to talk to Terrence Gerard Ford, a.k.a. TJ Ford. And over the course of this season, there will be a lot of the former Raptors come back to town and be part of the festivities as they celebrate 30 years. The video board playing with guys wearing numbers that match other numbers. And a combination of old and new. I'm sure you'll get a look at it as this is the first of 41 at home. And tonight's starting lineup is driven by Subaru. Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your Subaru dealer to book a drive and a test drive today. Herbie Kuhn bringing out the Raptors.
Jonathan Momo. Number 3, DJ Carton. Number 9, Archie Barrett. Number 11, Bruce Brown. Number 14, Jacoby Walter. Number 17, Garrett Temple. Number 22, Oris Samsey. Number 23, Jamal Sick. Number 24, Bruno Fernando. Number 25, in the middle of their set, Chris Boucher. Number 41, Kelly Olynyk. Number 45, Davion Mitchell. Number 77, Jameson Battle. And the head coach of your Toronto Raptors is Darko Rajakovic. And now, it's time to meet your starting five.
We get it started at the shooting guard, the young guy on the front line. This is Ochai Obati. At guard, the Wildcat moving 0 to 100 swiftly. You know who? IQ Emmanuel. Quickly. Holding it down at center, wearing the big number 19. Give it up for Jakob Poeltl. The kid from Kansas, wearing number 1. You know the name. Let's hear it for Brady Dillon. And your NBA All-Star, you know who we're talking about. Number 4. Make some noise for your boy, Scotty Barnes. Fans, let's hear it one more time for your 2024-2025 Toronto Raptors.
All right, set to tip it off. Season number 30 for the Toronto Raptors. Mark Davis, Sean Wright, and J.D. Rawls will be the officials tonight as the Raptors look to get a quick start. Javon, against the Cavaliers, they've had good luck playing the Cavaliers. 9-2 against the Cavs at home since the start of the 2018-2019 season. Tied for the most home wins against a single opponent in that time period. The Hornets and the Wizards are the other victims, but Toronto's had good success. And Javon, you know how it is, and our guy Warren is up there too. Sometimes you see a uniform, you see a gym, you see a building that you just feel good in. And maybe seeing these Cavs uniforms at home for Toronto is something that'll be able to push them forward.
Well, I'll say this. There's that element, and the fact that this Raptors team right now, it's a bunch of young guys, right? So they're coming out fired up. They know they have a lot to prove, and everybody's counted them out because they're in the quote-unquote development and rebuilding stage. So you've got to just make sure, and I'm sure these guys are excited right now to get out there and just kind of dispel some of that a bit, right? They're still competitors at the end of the day. And I'm excited to see these guys come out and just compete hard, right? You have one responsibility right now in the cycle that this organization is in. That's just go out there every night and compete hard. Be the team that's the toughest, the grittiest, and let that development phase take its course on its own. As long as these guys are out there doing what they're supposed to, and that's all the little things. Diving on loose balls, rebounding, and one of their focuses this year is the ball pressure. And that's going to start with, Scotty Barnes is the leader. That's going to be Emmanuel quickly on opposing guards. So got to get some defensive effort right out the gate.
Cleveland in the white uniforms with wine trim wins a tip, and they will come front court left to right. The Raptors wearing the throwback purple in the front and black on the back. Mobley in the lane, puts it up, no good. Gets the rebound twice, puts it up and in. Looked like it was on the rim, but they give Mobley the deuce. And Cleveland leads 2-0.
Still solid defense by Scotty Barnes. Mobley just quicker with that second jump to the offensive rebound.
Grady, deep three up top, no good. Pirtle can't run it down. Rebound knocked away. Dean Wade has it. Off to Garland up the right side, near wing. 2-0 Cleveland. We're 45 seconds into the season. Garland drives on the baseline. Kick it out. Mitchell drives on Grady. Swing it out. Wade, three up top, no good. Rebound Barnes. Here come the Raptors right to left towards the Bay Street end of Scotiabank Arena. Quickly gets a Pirtle screen, far side above the arc. Step back, three in the air, bucket. Down the bottom of the well for the first time this season for IQ. The Raptors lead at 3-2.
The confidence that he popped up into that shot. He had the step-up screen on the right side with Pirtle. Got to switch on to the big, and then right into his jumper. That side step confidence popped up into it with conviction.
10:38 first quarter, 3-2 Toronto. Mitchell takes a handoff from Allen and is fouled by Abaji coming around the screen, launching the jumper.
That's just a vet move, right? Yeah. Donovan Mitchell just reading that Abaji's riding him over that screen. A good job by Abaji, right? Trying to blow up the play by getting through and over that screen. And Mitchell just using just his experience and just having the respect of the officials, drawing that foul. Fortunately for the Raptors, it's not a shooting foul, or it looks like the officials are gonna discuss it a bit.
Sean Wright saying to Kenny Atkinson he wasn't shooting. Kenny Atkinson looking around from help. You're not getting it from the scorer's table in Toronto, my man, I can tell you that much. Cleveland inbound near side, right wing in front of the Raptor bench. Garland works left, far side. Pull up three in the air, no good. Rebound Pirtle. Outlet Barnes. Scotty up the middle of the floor to Grady. Dribble drive, far side. Stop, jumper, good. Grady knocks it down, 5-2 Toronto.
That's that added muscle that we're talking about. Takes that one dribble, bump with that left shoulder, and fades to his right on the right side of the floor for 2 points.
Garland wide open off the screen. The jumper off the top of the backboard, no good. Knocked away. Wade has it. Back to Garland. Drive, finds Mobley in the lane for the jam. Javon, one of the pillars of good defense is defensive rebounding.
Yeah, you got to close out the possession, right? You had 3 purple shirts that just fell asleep there, and Mobley ends up with 2 points, dunked down the lane.
Pirtle drives, has it knocked away. It went off Pirtle, but they give Toronto the ball. I think it was one of those, the old school, where it looked like Allen fouled, and they said, okay, let's just play on. Barnes, short jumper, got it 8 feet, near side, left wing. Raptors into a 7-4 lead.
That's just a good read. Scotty taking a step to the paint and into the basketball, makes a jumper, and now picks up Mobley full court.
Mobley handling it precariously. Now picks it up, finds Garland into the lane, lobs it up to Allen for the dunk. 7-6, Toronto's lead cut to 1.
That's the luxury that Cleveland has, those twin towers, Allen and Mobley. You get into the paint, you're going to have a rim threat with both of those guys down there.
Abaji into the lane, finds Pirtle, the wraparound, reverse layup, no good. Abaji gets the offensive rebound, finds quickly, drive, floated up, no good, but he's fouled on the drive, so IQ will go to the line. He was knocked down, and they've got the foul on Evan Mobley quickly, who played, well, let's say sparingly in the preseason. Looks good early, will go to the line for a couple of free throws.
Sparingly, but his only preseason game, 10 assists in that game, right? And you're seeing him come out tonight, and I like the extra aggression, right? On that last play there, gets himself to the free throw line, but that one dribble mid-stride, same foot, same hand attempt, right? He makes it look easy. But not a lot of guys are going to have that ability to do that, right? As fast as he's moving to decelerate and get that shot up and draw the foul off of the same foot.
My ACL just went when you said that fast and decelerating. That's
There's a lot going on there, Jonesy.
I'm done.
There's a lot going on.
I'm done. Quickly knocks down a couple of free throws. Raptors take a 9-6 lead, 8:52 first quarter. Mitchell, 3 is good. We're tied at 9. First quarter brought to you by Tangerine, official bank of the Toronto Raptors and their fans. Abaji near side, gets it to Grady, down the baseline, kicks it out to Quickly. 8:35 first quarter, we're tied at 9. Barnes, straight away at the nail, drives on Garland, puts it up and in. Scotty gives Toronto an 11-9 lead.
Great recognition by Emmanuel Quickly, right? The offense isn't flowing, broken plays. Okay, you see the mismatch, get it to Scotty at the free throw line and make it work.
Garland drives, misses, but the penetration hurts the rebounding. The tip in by Jarrett Allen ties the game at 11. 8 minutes, 5 seconds, first quarter. Grady up top. Raptors in the purple and black, old school, moving right to left toward Bay Street. Barnes up top. Drives on Mitchell. Crab dribble into the lane. Turn around jumper. No good. Rebound. Pirtle keeps it alive, but it goes to Cleveland.
I still like the attempt by Scotty, right? Going right back to what worked the last play, that mid-post.
Mitchell, 3, no good. Up and over the backboard. Hits the support wire, so Toronto will bring it front court. Not a great shot by Mitchell there. Looked like he took it personally in the one-on-one and maybe forced that one a little bit, Javon.
That's what his offense is usually predicated on, right? You're going to get some good shots, but you're also going to get a lot of wild ones with him. It's a give and take.
Quickly drive, lay it in, far side, right wing.
Quickly looks fresh, right? He looks fresh. He has a pop, a bounce in his step, and just a belief. Again, that attack on the right side of the floor, one dribble getting into the paint, same foot, same hand finish.
13-11 Toronto, and they make a steal. They come back 3-on-1. Abaji on the drive is fouled by Darius Garland. The Raptors getting the steal. Let's face it, the two things, Javon, they've talked about extensively and intently, purposefully, dutifully.
Defense.
And pushing the pace.
Pushing the pace. And you think about that last play, right? Emmanuel quickly gets the finish down on the offensive end, and he's the one that comes up with the deflection that leads to the steal in Abaji in transition, right? He gets himself to the free throw line, but what I'm impressed with is he gets the basketball and his head is looking right at the rim, right? He's not apprehensive. He's not playing that reserve basketball. You want Abaji to be one of the better athletes when play bigger and stronger and gets in transition. He does that there.
He makes one, misses a second, but Grady tips it out. Grady drives far side, puts it up, no good, but he's fouled. A strong take by the Kansas Jayhawk, and Grady will go to the line for a couple of free throws. 14-11 Toronto, 7:05 to go, first quarter. Home opener in season number 30 for the Toronto Raptors at Scotiabank Arena. And optimism always high for every team as the season tips off.
And, you know, right now for the Raptors, we play 5 minutes of basketball, and they're putting a lot of pressure at the rim. Only have shot two threes, 8 field goal attempts total. But already today, they've gone to the line 6 times, right? 5 for 6 on the free throw line. But that just goes to show you the level of aggression on the offensive end. And here on the defensive side, again, active hands, playing defense, getting down, getting wide. Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel quickly poking it out and coming up with the ball again.
They get a steal, and the ball knocked out of bounds by Cleveland. So here comes Toronto front court. Quickly off to Grady, near side, right wing. Into the middle, finds Barnes, 3-ball far side, no good. Pirtle can't squeeze the rebound. He was sandwiched between Allen and Mitchell comes down with it. Mitchell drives, gets into the lane, off balance shot, no good. Kick out quickly in a foot race with Jared Allen. IQ drives, has it blocked by Allen, saved by Mitchell. Ball goes airborne, and Abaji comes down with it and is fouled by Garland. There's the pursuit of the loose ball, Javon.
Yeah, there it is. And, you know, a heck of a play by Jared Allen. Manuel quickly is in transition, tries to cut him off. But Jared Allen doesn't only block the shot, but he blocks the shot and keeps it in play. Donovan Mitchell in pursuit of that loose basketball, keeping it alive. Great effort by both teams on that possession.
6:26 first quarter, time for our first break of the season. 16-11 Toronto. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Mary, who stands 5 inches away from her 55-inch flat-screen TV and yells at it even though she knows no one on the TV can hear a word she's saying. Is it effective? There's no evidence. Do we support her? Yeah. Screaming at the TV for all 4 quarters. That's how Mary fans. And we're fans of Mary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Getting my Honda CR-V has opened the door to adventure with Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency and...
What's up, Raptors fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the NBA opening night. The Raptors hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. We the North, we are back here on TSI. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Please take a second to hit that like button down below so we can get more basketball fans here in the chat. We've got a lot of work to do to catch up to the Leafs community and the Jays community after a full season, coming back after a long off season from the Raptors. Please share this link out as well. The more you share, the more people from around the world that will be hanging out with us here to cheer on our Raps. We the North, stand up. Let's get back to the basketball. Let's go Raptors.
We need your help to keep families together. Please donate today at rmhc.ca.
First up with Korolnik and Koliakovo. Weekday morning 6 till 10 on TSN 1050.
You ain't first, you're last.
Back in Toronto, 16-11 first quarter. Opening night of the 24-25 season. Raptors leading by 5, 16-11. Javon, what do you got?
Well, just a great effort that we're seeing on the defensive side of the floor. Both Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, 2 guards for Cleveland, combined for 1 for 6 right now. So the Raptors are putting a little pressure on the head of the snake for the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you want to clean up anything early in this game right now, it's offensive rebounds that Cleveland has come up with 4 offensive rebounds there. Just doing a better job. And that's what you want to do when you're in this development phase. Is every time you go into a timeout, every time you go into an end of a quarter, is what can you improve on, right? You've had the effort on the offensive end. It's generated some, you had the effort on the defensive end. It's generated some offense for you. Some things to clean up on the defensive side, closing out those possessions. So those 4 offensive rebounds, you want to be able to secure those boards for the Raptors.
Boucher into the ball game for the Raptors. They bring it front court, right to left towards Bay Street. Quickly on the bounce against Jared Allen. Gets it inside to Pirtle, knocked away. Here comes Cleveland. On the turnover, Garland up the right side, near wing in front of the Raptors bench. Drives past Grady. Kicks it out to Sam Merrill. Back to Garland, 3-ball, air ball, no good. Here comes Toronto. Quickly on the run. Straight away, now gets it to Grady, far side, 3 in the air, no good. Pirtle keeps it alive. Rebound run down, Boucher had it, and they're going to call a loose ball foul on Sam Merrill.
Good effort by Pirtle. Knows he's not going to be able to corral the basketball, so what he does is swing at it, gets a tip on it, which keeps that basketball alive, and Chris Boucher right in the mix of things to clean it up. Raptors are able to retain that possession there. Going to get 2 free throws for Chris Boucher. Good to see Chris out there, right? He had a rough year last season, and which obviously ended in injury. But for him to be out here right now, getting some early minutes, especially with Kelly Olynyk, that's out right now with injury. This is where Chris typically thrives, right? When limited role, limited minutes, and he comes out and wins everybody over with his effort and his energy.
5:35 first quarter. Raptors make 1 of 2. 17-11, they lead. Merrill up top, guarded by Grady. Cleveland in the white, coming left to right. Garland, step back 3, straight away, good.
Tough shot. He has to switch on Grady Dick and just swings him right to left and creates that space at the jump shot.
17-14, Pirtle, runner in the lane, no good. Jarrett Allen doing a nice job on the boards. He and Pirtle going at it with the glass battle. Here comes Garland, right side near wing, lobs it up to Allen. It didn't go, but the Raptors are going to be called on the foul. Putting the gravity machine on Jarrett Allen. He couldn't jump, but since it was not a shot attempt, the foul will go on quickly, but Cleveland will inbound near side, right wing, in front of Darko Rajakovic.
Donovan Mitchell checking into the game for Emmanuel quickly. He's probably got the best nickname in the league, Off Night.
Off Night.
And
Mitchell.
When he steps in front of you, it's clamps.
I've never seen quicker feet on defense. Wade, 3, got it near side. Dean Wade ties the game at 17.
Garland with a good drive going to his left hand and the cross-court pass, and Dean Wade knocking it down.
Boucher trying to respond, got it in the bottom of the well. Chris knocks it down. Raptors go back up 20-17.
CB for 3, but a good extra pass by Abaji, just knowing that he's in the corner, making the right play.
Jarrett Allen stripped by Off-Night Mitchell. Davion gets it to Chris Boucher to a trailing Pirtle. Now to Mitchell, far side, 3 in the air, short. Rebound Pirtle again. Allen with position. Pirtle could only try to keep it alive, but Cleveland has it. 4:15 first quarter. 2017 Toronto. Cleveland in white moving left to right. Boucher with a steal. Wasn't looking at the ball, but read the eyes of the defender. Grady near side to Abaji straight away. Ochai drives into the lane. The running hook is up and in. 22-17 Toronto.
That's a great take, right? Getting it down the right lane on the floor, bouncing off the bodies, but just having the body control and the ability to get it high off the glass with enough touch on the right side for 2.
Karis LeVert into the ballgame to Merrill, 3 straight away, good. Sam Merrill is one of those guys like Hauser, knockdown, do not leave him open.
Well, he's a 40% guy from the three-point line. Got to have a laser focus with him on the floor.
22-20 Toronto, 3:20 first quarter. Grady drives, and the foul will go on Garland. Raptors sending subs into the game. Jamal Shed, Bruno Fernando, and Scotty Barnes will check in.
It's going to be a fun watch, right? 3.5 minutes left, and we're going to get to see Jamal Shed and Donovan Mitchell play defense together, lock up. That's got to be a nightmare for opposing teams to have both of those guys in front of you. 2 shadows.
Shed and Mitchell are the kind of guys, and our guy Warren can relate to this. You're playing ball, and these guys pick you up when you get off the bus. And they're all over you, and after a while you're like, yo man, can you just get off me a little bit?
Some space. Can I breathe a
little bit?
That's when you start saying, it's not that serious. It's not that serious.
And he says, no, you're trying to brother-in-law me. No, man, I'm sticking to you. 24-20. One free throw good for the Raptors, or two free throws good for the Raptors. They lead by 4. Mitchell 3 up top, no good. Rebound Fernando. Out to Davion Mitchell, front court, right to left. Raptors in purple heading towards Bay Street. Grady, catch and shoot. Shot fake, 3 in the air, bucket!
That's a nice one.
Like he was in the gym all summer, Grady gives Toronto its biggest lead of the game by 7, 27-20.
That's created by Donovan Mitchell. He gets that's created. Oh, good take here.
Donovan Mitchell back, beats Davion Mitchell, and now the Raptors called for standing inbounds on the inbound, and that's a careless turnover that will give the ball back to Cleveland after the timeout, Javon.
You know, what I was meant to say before is that if Davion Mitchell could get into the paint at will like he does on that last bucket for the Raptors, Grady Dick and guys on the perimeter just have to be ready to shoot the basketball because he forced the defense to shift.
Let's take a break. 2:45, first quarter, 27-22 Toronto. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
As fall approaches and birds head south, a different kind of bird emerges, the Subaru. While migratory flocks seek warmth, Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive keeps drivers soaring through the wild. During the migrating season, Subaru's hunger for adventure grows exponentially, driving the intrigued radio listeners to fall for Subaru at their local Subaru dealerships, experiencing an adventure of their own. So migrate to your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Touchdown.
Great catch.
Give me a high five.
5 minutes later.
Interception.
Awesome play.
Give me a high five.
2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives.
I meant... never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
2-for-1 pizza,
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew! Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. District license 12616.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream us on iHeartRadio, the TSN app, or on Apple CarPlay. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
Welcome back. Scotiabank Arena, 27-22, 2:45 first quarter. Raptors lead the Cleveland Cavaliers, and a standing ovation for Toronto's first ever Rookie of the Year, Mighty Mouse, Damon Stoudemire, drafted 7th overall by Isaiah Thomas in his tenure with the Raptors. Isaiah, knowing that good guard play in those days kept you in it, now good guard play wins you games. Mighty Mouse, the head coach of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, in the house tonight to help kick off season number 30 for the Toronto Raptors. And I'm telling you, he was one of those little guys, Javon, that, man, nobody played harder than he did.
No, he was electrifying. He made a lot of us start to play the game of basketball and fall in love with the game of basketball.
George Niang off the bench, knocks down a triple. That's what he does. 27-25, Raptor lead. Cut to 2. Barnes up top, drives into the lane on Mobley. Backs him off, catches. The jumper no good. Rebound knocked away. Here comes Mitchell. Scotty wanted the bump on Mobley, didn't get it. Here comes Mitchell, front court. Drives on Davion Mitchell, into the lane, floats it up, no good. And they got the foul called on Bruno Fernando. Scotty now talking to Mark Davis, saying, I leaned in and I got knocked back. You know, Javon, we were on the call with the officials, and Monty McCutcheon talked about the 4 letters, SBQR, speed, balance, quickness, I forget what the R was, rhythm. And if any of those are kind of disrupted on the drive, it's a foul. Scotty looked like his rhythm was disrupted there, but no call. Mitchell makes the first free throw, 27-26 Toronto.
You know, they're still making Mitchell earn the two, right? You had Davion Mitchell, you had Jamal Shead, Fernando that were in on this last play here. And you like to see when there's three defenders, disciplined defenders, to one offensive player.
One free throw for Mitchell. Back comes Toronto's Mitchell. Davion into the lane, floats it up, no good. Rebound, no good. Foul, Mobley. Bruno Fernando over the back. Paul Jones, Javon Shepard, courtside along with Josh Lippa. You'll hear from Josh Lewenberg at halftime. Cameron Moore up top looking after Jim Taddy and Warren Ward. Matthew Cardadero and producer Owen Hall back at Raptors Central. 1:50 first quarter. Sam Merrill comes around the screen and Jamal Shead called for being a little bit too close. And now Shead talking to Mark Davis saying, I was on the inside, but he leaned in. Well, maybe you get the next call because you're not getting this one. Sam Merrill, first free throw good. 27 apiece. 1:52 to go, first quarter. Merrill's second free throw good. Cleveland with a 1-point, 28-27 lead. Barnes, front court against Niang. Gets a switch onto Merrill. Eyeing him down. Staring him down on the dribble. Backs in. Double comes. They kick it out. Shead into the corner. Davion Mitchell up top. Barnes, good look at a three. No good. Great ball movement. Got a good look. Couldn't knock it down. LeVert, front court. On the elbow against Fernando. Drives, gets into the lane. Kicks it to Mobley. Knocked away. And Mobley goes airborne, has it knocked away by Mitchell from behind.
Good job by Chris Boucher, again, active hands, right? He steps up to stop the drive and still gets back into play to deflect the basketball from Mobley.
Mitchell, long inbound to Mobley. Cleveland in the white, moving left to right. Niang, shot fake. Finds Mobley, three up top, no good. Long rebound to Shead. Raptors on the run. Shead between the circles to Fernando. 28-27 Cleveland. Shead in the lane, floats it up and in. He's on the board for the first time in the NBA. Raptors lead 29-28.
What a first step, right? The jab gets into the paint and it just elevates in the air. He's so strong as well. Nice touch on the floater.
LeVert into the corner. Mobley, open look, got it. It's a triple for Evan Mobley, who's stepping out. And if he starts knocking that down, he's going to be big trouble. 31-29 Cleveland, 35 seconds first quarter. Barnes slips at midcourt, but on his wallet gets it to Shead. Shead on the bounce, gets it to Scotty against Merrill. Squares him up, cross-court pass, Boucher, three, bucket, down the bottom of the well. Great look by Scotty, Raptors up 32-31.
Good job, great job. Scotty slips, he gets up, still makes the play. Chris Boucher shot ready in the left side of the floor. And as soon as that ball touches hands, he let it fly.
8 seconds, first quarter. Raptors by one, 32-31. Mitchell drives, Davion cuts him off, the jumper no good. And a late foul called on Scotty Barnes. And Darko said Donovan Mitchell was drifting left. Scotty was standing there. And they got the foul on Scotty.
Davion had done a great job sitting down on Donovan Mitchell. Scotty on that strong side there with Harris LeVert. I think it's almost instinct that as Donovan Mitchell goes up into a shot, Scotty leaned over. I'm not sure if there was much contact there.
I didn't think there was, Javon. And we, again, the call with the referees, I asked the question about what airspace is the shooter responsible for? Drifting left, drifting right, drifting forward?
Getting another look at it on the monitor here, Scotty did nick him on the forehead. It would have been a tough shot if he just stayed vertical with his contest. And again, Davion Mitchell did a heck of a job shadowing him and forcing the tough one.
Raptors throw it long after the free throws were good by Donovan Mitchell. It's a 1-point lead for Cleveland after a quarter. 33-32 Cavs. Second quarter when we come back. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball across the TSN radio network.
Moved here a few weeks ago. Just my beagle, Buster, and me.
Needs a pet supply store.
I didn't think we were going to make it.
And a car dealer.
I brought way too much stuff.
Long-term storage.
My girlfriend is going to be here real soon.
Florist shop. A good restaurant. And towels and linens.
I'm going to surprise her.
Tattoo parlor.
The other morning on the radio, I heard 10 perfect ways to propose.
Jewelry store. Be where anyone who needs you can meet you. Be on the radio. Your customers are already here.
Whatever the weather, CMC Markets is here to help. Planning for a rainy day? Enjoy $0 commission on U.S. and Canadian share CFDs. Riding out the storm? Get ahead of the curve with lightning-fast execution speeds. Blue skies ahead? Go with the trusted broker backed by over 30 years experience. Switch to CMC Markets and join over 275,000 global traders. Learn more at cmcmarkets.ca. FX spreads apply. CFDs involve a high degree of risk. Member Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Umbrella not included.
Getting my Honda CR-V has opened the door to adventure, with Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency and free to explore. And with tons of cargo space, it's easy to pack for getaways. My dog, camping gear. It's like I've discovered a wild, adventurous side of me. Whoop. Alice is excited too.
Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive for $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,000 down. Offer includes $1,500 lease bonus. OAC conditions apply. See HondaOntario.com.
Overdrive, Toronto's favorite way to drive home. Weekdays 4 to 7 on TSN 1050.
Second quarter about to start. Cleveland leading Toronto 33-32. Raptors had a good first quarter, but still trail by a point, shooting just about 48%. Cleveland the same. Paul Jones, Javon Shepard. Again, you'll hear from Josh Lewenberg at halftime. Jim Taddy and Warren Ward also at halftime up top with Cameron Moore. Matt Cardadero, Owen Hall back at Raptors Central, and Josh Lippa keeping us on the air down here. Second quarter is brought to you by Alpine Credits. Do you own your home and need a loan? Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca. Javon got the notebook going. I was going to ask for the notes in a minute. Not that I don't do my homework, but I'm a little busy calling the game right now. Raptors ball, front court in the purple with the black backing. Moving right to left toward Bay Street. Shed in the lane, floats it up, no good. Rebound. Taken down by Cleveland. Here they come, front court. Mobley in the lane, jams it down. Cleveland with its biggest lead of the game at 35-32. Blocking foul on Sam Merrill. The Raptors try to come back quickly. And Merrill tried to stand in and got called on the block. Raptors doing a pretty good job in that first quarter. Javon?
Yeah, they've been aggressive, and I mentioned that early on as well. The fact that they have 10 free throw attempts in that first quarter alone and knocking them down, something they struggled with last season, right? 8 for 10 early. But they've got to be able to keep that level of intensity. And even when shots aren't dropping, right, that level's got to maintain.
Evan Mobley handling the ball nicely, going down the middle.
He looks pretty good.
He does.
He looks comfortable on the perimeter. He looks comfortable putting the ball on the floor. He has a flow to him right now.
Little zone by the Cavs right now. Raptors on the bounce. Scotty Barnes into the lane, trying to overpower Donovan Mitchell. Lots of contact, no foul called. Turn it over and give it to Cleveland.
Donovan Mitchell's one of those guys that's still 6'3", 215.
Raptors fall asleep. They throw it over their heads. And Darko wants a timeout right away.
So this is where, again, with the young teams, the brain freezes, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to see a lot more of these, but it's as a young group, you've got to really figure out how to mitigate these, because that Donovan Mitchell throws a cross-court pass from out of bounds, the length of the floor, for two. And you asked me a question earlier, Scotty's next step, it's moments like these, right? How do you lessen these? How do you get your team back engaged and back into it?
Next play. 39-32. Cavs with a 6-0 run to start the quarter. We'll take a break. 10:42 until halftime. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Mary, who stands 5 inches away from her 55-inch flat-screen TV and yells at it even though she knows no one on the TV can hear a word she's saying. Is it effective? There's no evidence. Do we support her? Yeah. Screaming at the TV for all 4 quarters. That's how Mary fans. And we're fans of Mary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Firefighter Finn McHose, that's a nickname, right? Needed help contending with a blaze of debt. He called Alpine Credits and a superhero was sent his way. Summoning water, she extinguished the fire and consolidated his debt into one low monthly payment. His floors may be wet, but his debt is under control. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Fiscal license 12616.
Touchdown.
Great catch. Give me a high five.
5 minutes later.
Interception.
Awesome play.
Give me a high five.
2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives.
I meant... never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
2-for-1 pizza. 2-for-1.
There's no better way to drive home than with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog. Overdrive every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Back in Toronto, quick timeout for Darko. As the Raptors, as you said, Javon, had a little bit of a brain freeze there, but they trail by 7, and you can't have those consistently.
No, not at all. Coach also made a change here. You have Jonathan Moe checking into the game, and out there Scotty Barnes, Davion Mitchell, Chris Boucher, and Grady Dick.
Mitchell to Barnes, Raptors, front court, 3-ball in the corner by Boucher, no good. Back comes Cleveland. Mitchell, Barnes, Mobo out there with Boucher and Grady. Mobley underneath to a cutting Isaac Okoro. Back to Sam Merrill, fires an off-balance 3, no good. Out of bounds, Scotty can't squeeze it. It stays with Cleveland. That ball didn't hit the rim. Mark Davis looking right at shot clock operator, and I'm in the background saying, hey man, that ball didn't hit no rim. Mark Davis said that?
We didn't. Mark Davis didn't look at you once.
Yes, he did. They put the shot clock back to 2. And I want a percentage of the referee's cut.
That man didn't look at you once, Jonesy.
I want the bag. I want to get paid. I did work there. Somebody's paying me for something.
Jonesy is doing double duty tonight.
Well,
wow.
They always said I reffed when I played anyway, so. Offensive foul on Okoro. Illegal screen on Grady. Grady gets up gimpy, and the Raptors are going to have the ball.
You're going to get a number of those. You see Grady trying to fight over those screens. A lot of those times you're going to get a knee to the thigh. Got to have those pads on, those thigh pads.
Boucher up top. Raptors down 7, 10 minutes to go. First half, 39-32 Cleveland. Davion Mitchell into the corner. Grady drive, baseline, the floater in the air, no good. The Raptors have gone cold.
Yeah, poor spacing there. Grady Dick penetrating the right baseline. And Scotty Barnes getting into the way, creating the traffic with his defender.
Mobile guarding Mobley very nicely. Mobley spins, misses the shot, but they've got Mobo on the foul. I thought the rookie did a credible job there defensively.
He did, but you can see Mobley, with the experience that he has right now, the patience that he had with the basketball. Mobley was doing a good job bodying him up, but Mobley keeping his dribble alive, gets to that free throw area, and that spin takes him to the basket. Mobley just loses control of him.
9:40 to go, first half. First free throw good by Mobley. Even Mobley's leading all scorers with 12. Make it 13 now as Cleveland has a 9-point lead, 41-32. Deep three by Emmanuel quickly is in the bottom of the well for the Raptors.
Teams are going to find out soon. If you go under on Emmanuel quickly, he's going to stop and pop it like he did there. Great recognition. Defender goes onto the screen. Well, that's an easy three. That's a layup.
Donovan Mitchell spins into the lane and lays it in. 43-35, Cleveland by 8. Quickly, front court between the circles. On the logo, now works left side near wing, and they got a foul on Merrill. Matched up with Barnes and just couldn't handle him. Took the foul. .904 first half, 43-35. Cleveland with the lead. And Ty Jerome checking in for the Cavs. Barnes takes the inbound, back to Quickly. Works near side, snakes the dribble over to the far side. Gets it to Mobley, shot clock at 5. Quickly, drives on Mobley, shot fake, spins back. Mobley's length blocks it. Here comes Cleveland. Mitchell drives on Barnes, and they got Scotty on the reach.
See, Emmanuel quickly gets a tough shot on that last possession for the Raptors, but what really happened, he got the basketball to Mobley on the right side of the floor. And Mobley, this is the learning curve as well. As a rookie, you got to be ready to play, right? You got to be in a triple threat position or just shot ready, stance ready to do something so that forces the defense to react. He wasn't kick the ball back too quickly, and quickly had it like a hot potato, had to figure it out.
Mitchell squares on Quickly, far side, jab step, 3 in the air. Actually, it's a long 2.
That's a tough shot.
Yep, 45-35, Cleveland by 10. Back comes Barnes to a cutting Pirtle in the lane, lays it up and in.
Big time footwork, great patience by Scotty Barnes on that left block of Pirtle running the floor. And almost like a half Euro step to get to the right side for the finish.
Mobley drives, no good. Rebound, though, is taken by Niang, but they call the foul on Pirtle. Evan Mobley quietly doing damage in a lot of ways, Javon. Handling, rolling, shooting. He's a thorn in the Raptors' side right now.
He is, right? I'm looking at his numbers, 13 points and 6 rebounds, and it almost seems like he's had a bigger presence and imprint on this game than the numbers would suggest. Knocking down the first of 2 there, 14 for his 14th point. 6 rebounds, like I mentioned before. He just seems very comfortable out there right now. Looks like he's in really good shape. Putting the basketball on the floor, like you mentioned, on the perimeter. And the recognition, right? Smaller defenders on him, more younger defenders, less experienced defenders. And he's having patience keeping the basketball alive. Missed that second one.
And they've got Grady on a violation. And that will give Mobley an extra free throw. Wow. So Evan Mobley will get a second shot. Well, a replacement free throw, as it were, and he knocks it down. So the Raptors trail by 10, 47-37. 8:12 to go first half. Ball knocked out of bounds by Cleveland. Here comes quickly on the inbound baseline near side. Gets it to Grady in the lane. Floats it up and in. Wow. Jackknife layup by Grady. Double pump, lays it in.
That is tough.
Raptors cut the lead to 8. Mobley in the lane, floats it up and in. Here comes quickly. Back for Toronto, now to Mitchell. 7:50 first half. 49-39 Cleveland. Mitchell to quickly. On Wade, far side, above the arc. Jab, gets a Pirtle screen. Into the corner, Abaji. To Pirtle, down low. Floats it up, no good, but is fouled. Good ball movement there by Toronto. Pirtle with the seal. And they get it in from the far side on the wing. And Jakob will have free throws. Something that he had an issue with last year, Javon, let's face it. Hopefully, if you're Toronto, Pirtle can rectify some of that.
Well, he's a 55% free throw shooter last season.
And immediately, Kenny Atkinson goes to his bench to get Jared Allen. Pirtle misses the first free throw.
I got to talk about that last Grady Dick possession off of the baseline out of bounds, right? He comes off of that Iverson cut from the right side of the floor and takes that dribble to the basket, the up and under. Wow, the airtime. I think we underestimate how athletic Grady Dick actually is.
Yeah. Pirtle misses 2. Raptors get an empty trip. Mitchell drives into the lane. Floats it up, no good. Rebound to Pirtle. Chopped by Mitchell, and they got the foul call. Mitchell wanted the bounce on Pirtle, but I thought he was the one that created the contact.
Yeah, he powered up. Frustration foul. But
yeah, that was the other thing the officials talked about, Warren, the verticality, and Pirtle showed it well there. Quickly guarded by Okoro. Full court will bring it over the midcourt line. Pirtle up top to quickly. Raptors in the purple, moving right to left towards Bay Street. Screen and roll. Pirtle going down the lane, the far side of the lane, and was grabbed, so he'll go back to the line. Got to make free throws. You can't have empty trips.
You can't there, but a good job by the Raptors. And, a number of teams are running this offense right now, which is almost like the new motion, right? The splits. You enter that basketball to the elbow, and Raptors had some good split action on the right side of the floor. Pirtle knocking down the first or 2. When the spacing is right and guys are communicating with their eyes, it makes it so tough on the defense because you don't know where the screen's coming from. You don't know who's cutting. Is it the bottom guy? Is it the top guy? And also when you have a player like Pirtle that can make decisions and or finish at the rim, put it on the floor, so tough to guard. Good job by Pirtle knocking down the second of 2 after getting himself to the free throw line.
All right, he makes 2 there, so the Raptors cut the lead to 49-41. 7 minutes, first half. Cleveland in the white, moving left to right. Mitchell, kick it out. Wade, shot fake, drives into the lane. Pirtle with a great job of verticality, and the box out prevents Allen from getting the rebound. Abaji doing the job. Quickly pull up 3, no good. Rebound, Cleveland. Ty Jerome up the near side, right wing. On the bounce, over to the far side. Tries to get it to Wade, it's picked off. Here comes Grady on the run. Has it blocked from behind by Mitchell. No foul call.
That is unbelievable. Grady Dick got clobbered from behind.
Well, it'll be an inbound by the Raptors. No foul call. Donovan Mitchell checks out. Darius Garland checks in.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. He body to body.
Wow. And you can hear the reaction of the fans.
That one's unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
Darko's going to challenge. I don't think he can challenge. Oh, wait a minute. He can. It's the proximal foul rule. So if the ball is out of bounds on a team and they think there was a foul that caused it to go out of bounds, you can challenge to see if there's a foul. And if there is a foul, that's what you get. That's the rule last year. Remember Kyrie Irving? Remember they fouled and the ball went out of bounds, and the foul caused it to go out of bounds, but they reviewed and couldn't call the foul. So I think they're going to use the proximal foul call here. So back in the old days, I would hack Javon, and the ball would go out of bounds off Javon. I'd say, my ball, and the referee would say, Jones, you fouled him, I didn't call it. Get your butt back on defense, it's Javon's ball. But with the replay now, you can't do that. But they changed it this year so that you can go back and call a foul if it causes the out of bounds. Darko smartly making that challenge. You heard the reaction of the fans. So we will keep it right here as I've burned most of the time out with my explanation. Taddy, did that make sense to you up there? Give me a wave. If I don't see the all clear from Taddy, I know my explanation's no good. What about you, Warren? You're a basketball guy. Does that make sense to you? Yes, Warren's got it, so I'm good. I'm good.
Warren said he understood because you started out with you being a hack, and he knows that you are a hack.
Oh, man.
It would have been you fouling.
No. That's good defense. In the schoolyard, Warren would be saying, no, we shoot for it.
Let's shoot for it.
and Warren would want to take the shot, too.
Or better yet, the defense calls the fouls.
Yeah, defense calls fouls.
Defense calls fouls.
So I guess they are rescinding the challenge because we got no announcement here. 6:26 to go. First half, 49-41. Raptors trailing by 8. And they will inbound on the baseline. Either that or it had to be called Cleveland's ball for the challenge to be enacted. We'll get that one cleared up by referee Foxcroft at the table at halftime and come back with the explanation. 6:26. First half, 49-41 Cleveland. Grady to inbound. Baseline left, near side. Gets it to Quickly. Into the lane to Pirtle. The little push shot, soft as church music, goes down for Pirtle.
Yes, Emmanuel Quickly coming off the screener action. Keeps the dribble alive on the left side of the floor, and Pirtle just getting into that short pocket. That nice touch, floating it up.
Okoro in the lane, kicks to the corner. 3-ball by Garland, no good. Rebound to Baji. Here come the Raptors front court. Quickly loses it, and the turnover will give it back to Cleveland. Here comes Cleveland front court. Garland standing on the logo. Cleveland working left to right. Allen pull-up jumper from 16 feet straight away, no good. Here comes Abaji. Ochai into the lane, finds Pirtle. Reverse layup is blocked by Allen. And it'll be Toronto ball, right baseline, far side on the inbound.
You know, Donovan, Davion Mitchell, excuse me. Those names are too close for me right now, Jonesy. This is the first game of the season. Forgive me. Davion Mitchell, he does a good job of forcing Cleveland to start their offense pretty much at the half-court line.
Quickly, wheels around the screen, floats it in. Raptors cut the lead to 4. 49-45. It's a 6-0 run for Toronto. Garland to Okoro. Back to Garland. Guarded by Mitchell. They zip it to Allen. Short corner near side to Jerome. Back to Allen. Great action there. And the dunk by Jared Allen.
Ty Jerome used Toronto's aggression against them. Just knew that two were going to jump out at him in that pick and roll. Allen doing a good job slipping to the basket. Right.
Offensive foul on Pirtle. He was on the elbow near side. Got tangled up with Allen, who had just looked like lost his footing.
Yeah.
But the bump is going to be called on Pirtle.
Jared Allen, two good plays back-to-back, like I mentioned before, splitting the screen out of the double team, getting himself a dunk at the rim, and then on the other end, picking up the offensive foul on Pirtle.
Ty Jerome, front court. Kicks it out to Dean Wade. Tries to get it to Garland. Raptors deny it. Now Jerome near side. Gets into the lane, floats it up and in. Near side. Same foot, same hand, bank shot. 53-45, Cleveland by 8. Abaji back for the Raptors. Pirtle was fouled. Ball now knocked away. Here comes Cleveland. Jarrett Allen on the run, floats it up, no good. Quickly undercut by Okoro, comes down hard on his right hip and right buttocks. The foul on Garland, loose ball foul. Should you not review that for a potential flagrant?
He gets up. Sometimes those ugly falls, those ugly spills are the ones you just lay there and you just put two hands together and thank the man above for, allowing you to come back up injury-free. A little gimpy, quickly coming up, but just good to see him back on two.
Quickly go to the line to shoot the penalty, 2 shots. IQ's got 12 points to lead all Raptors. Grady with 11. Boucher 7 off the bench. Those are your high men for Toronto. Quickly free throw, no good. Donovan Mitchell back in. He was talking with an NBA type today,
Darius
Javon.
Garland going into the locker room, running back into the locker room right now.
Who said that Donovan Mitchell might have been behind the ousting of JB Bickerstaff. Didn't like the way, maybe not the relationship, the communication. Does Donovan Mitchell command that kind of power right now? I mean, it's not like Magic or Bird or LeBron or...
it's not. This is a players' league, and I don't think we can dismiss or discount that. It is a players' league right now, and when your top 2 players, I don't even think it has to be your superstar, but your top 2 players have a voice, right? And that is very much possible.
Wow. Well,
there's such a fine line for the elite players in this league, and if you're a front office executive, right, you do everything in your power to keep these guys comfortable because you don't want to lose them to any other team.
Ty Jerome, floater, 12 feet, far side, right wing. Cleveland 55, Toronto 46. The Cavs push back. Scotty Barnes up top on the elbow, far side. Pull-up jumper over Jarrett Allen, no good. Gets his rebound, kicks it out, quickly sets for a 3. That's no good. Rebound kept alive right to Cleveland. Karis LeVert on the drive. Kicks it back to Dean Wade, who jams it down. 11-point lead. And now the Raptors turn it over on the inbound. Mitchell jumper up top, good. It's now suddenly 14 at 60-46.
Things a little hectic, a little chaotic right now, and you want to get Scotty Barnes in some action here and have him have a feel, some pulse on this game with everything getting a bit out of control.
Quickly, the shot no good. The rebound batted away. Here come the Cavs. The pass to LeVert wasn't looking out of bounds. Cleveland gets its 7th turnover put on the board. But right now, they are on a run, and they have outscored Toronto to take a 14-point lead, 60-46, 3 minutes, first half. Pirtle up top to Quickly. Chance of Let's Go Raptors going up. Pirtle can't handle it, ball out of bounds. No, Cleveland saves it and comes back the other way. Mitchell drives, gets into the lane, reverse layup, no good. Rebound Quickly. Raptors on the run. Grady above the break, 3, no good. Pirtle keeps it alive, but it goes out of bounds to Cleveland.
Right now, the Raptors, everybody's just searching for it, right? That's a tough shot, especially when your opposing team is on a 7-0 run like this, and there doesn't seem to be any rhythm or flow to the game. I'm not sure that's a shot that you want for Grady in transition to 3. Right, Emmanuel Quickly right now still grimacing on his face from that fall.
2:24 to go until halftime. Raptors trailing 60-46. Mitchell, Mobley, Allen, Levert, and Jerome for the white-shirted Cavs.
Emmanuel quickly, as I mentioned, grimacing and checking out on his way, going straight to the locker room. Hopefully we'll have an update.
Grady, Abaji, Shed, Pirtle, and Barnes on the floor for Toronto. Mitchell, shot fake, gets it to Jerome. Drives into the lane, floats it up to Jarrett Allen for the jam. Cleveland pushing it now to 16, 62-46. Raptors need to make a muscle here. Barnes on Allen, leans in, kicks it back out. Shed, three needed, down the bottom of the well for Shed.
Well, that's what they should have done a long time ago, is get the basketball into Scotty's hands. What happened there is he gets to that mid-post area, draws two, and you get a better shot, because now you're playing 4-on-3 on the backside there. Shed gets an open wide shot off of Scotty's pass.
Mitchell in the lane, floats it up, no good. Rebound knocked away, Pirtle has it. Outlet Shed, Jamal pushing it over the midcourt line. Raptors coming right to left toward Bay Street. Barnes drives, lays it down to Pirtle, knocked away. Pirtle gets it back into the corner to Barnes. Scotty says hang on, shot clock at 8. Kicks to Shed. Jamal back to Scotty. Drives, gets into the lane on Mobley. Floats it up, no good, shot clock violation. The Cavs with solid defense.
Yeah, both Scotty and Jamal Shed had an opportunity to shoot the basketball, and both of them decided to drive. And now when you have two drives back-to-back, the defense is already set up in the paint. It makes it that much more difficult. Didn't get a clean one up. But both those guys are trying to attack the paint.
Under a minute, first half. 62-49, Cleveland. Allen in the lane, jams it down in the foul. Cleveland running that screen and roll action and really hurting the Raptors right now. The lead is 15, and Jarrett Allen will go to the line for one more.
Cleveland really pouring it on for the Raptors. I don't think you can really get discouraged right now. You can see the body language, sort of shifting and the life taken out of the guys, but you got to just reinvigorate yourself, right? Get the energy in the building back into the game if you're the Raptors. And that's one or two possessions, one or two good defensive possessions, one or two good offensive possessions. But there's going to be highs, lows. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster this entire season. So when you're in a low, got to find ways to get yourself out.
Barnes on the drive on Mobley, into the lane, floats it up, no good, partially blocked. Levert on the run out, going to get a jam. Cleveland 67, Toronto 49. That's just good individual defense by the Cavs right there.
It is.
Normally Scotty can get down and just overpower, but Evan Mobley's got some length, man, at 7 feet, 215.
And you know what? It's funny because they've got length at their, bigger positions, and they got some strength and size.
Raptors throw it away again. Cleveland coming back. Levert in the lane. Mobley jams it. Cleveland by 20, 69-49, and that's where we go at halftime. The Cavs taking the air out of the building, locking Toronto down defensively.
Yeah, you know what? For the Raptors, I thought in that first quarter they came out, they played with, a lot of energy, right? And you could see the potential of the squad when they played with energy. They were competing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the tough thing is that when you're down guys, RJ not playing, Kelly Olynyk not playing, they don't have the luxury of playing without those guys, right? It's not the same team without those guys, and then you have to maintain the level of effort, the level of fight, which is that much harder to do it for, 12 minutes, 24 minutes, 48 minutes at a time. But going into this half right now is an opportunity to get a break and then come back out refreshed and play with that same intensity that you did in quarter one. Start to chip away at this thing.
6 for 21 in the quarter for Toronto. Cleveland shooting almost 60% for the game, 56% for the game. Lead by 20, 69-49. Halftime when we come back. Jim Taddy, Warren Ward, Josh Lewinberg. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball across the TSN radio network.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Sam had aspirations of opening a clothing boutique. She called Alpine Credits and was sent a speedy superhero to help with a business loan. Super speed doesn't translate to radio, but when our hero runs, she sounds like this. If you ran at the speed of light, you'd sound funny too. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Fall for Subaru by enjoying fall to the fullest. Think scarlet, burgundy, amber, crimson and copper, but never, never blue. Because with Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, fall is for thick, dark mud splats, terracotta mountain roads, radiant sunsets, kaleidoscopic leaf carpets, and the boldest of adventures. Avoid autumn blues and visit your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Gary, who lies with reckless abandon every time he's invited out on game night, so he doesn't have to miss game night. Sorry, it's mating season for my pet squid. My e-scooter is out of gas. I ate a beanless burrito? My shoulder blade feels dull. I'm traveling to the 16th century? That's how Gary fans. And we're fans of Gary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows in your car. Available on Apple CarPlay via the iHeartRadio app. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
Raptors at the half. Tangerine Raptors basketball 69-49 for Cleveland over the Raptors. We'll be back with the halftime report next. This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050.
Making your lousy commute fun. Overdrive with Hayes Noodles and the O-Dog every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Our weekends are wall-to-wall kids hockey.
Needs a good sporting goods store.
We start early.
And a breakfast drive-thru.
It's a commitment for sure.
A financial advisor.
The whole family goes to the games.
A bigger vehicle.
Especially the tournaments.
Gas, hotels, and shopping malls.
We love to win.
Burgers for everyone.
We take turns choosing the radio station.
Family bonding. Be where anyone who needs you can meet you. Be on the radio. Your customers are already here.
Touchdown. Great catch.
Give me a high five.
5 minutes later.
Interception.
Awesome play.
Give me a high five.
2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives.
I meant... never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
People sometimes ask, sure, you can consolidate people's debts using telekinesis, but what else can you do? As if changing lives isn't enough. Well, I can also use my power to make it rain hot dogs. It's still not as cool as consolidating debts into one easy payment, though.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
The housing crisis in the GTA has reached a critical point, with more than 2 in 3 residents being affected.
Reporting that almost 9 million Canadians are living in food-insecure households.
Over 1 million people in the GTA now live below the poverty line.
Just out today, mental health support is the #1 reason people are calling 211 for assistance.
At United Way, we wake up to a different alarm every day. Help us end poverty and build a better GTA any way we can. Donate today at unitedwaygt.org.
Ugh, these vacation prices are really adding up. Flights, hotels.
Are your vacation plans going off-road? I'm a Sunwing financial advisor, saving you money while giving you more.
Did you say financial advisor?
Yeah, Sunwing financial advisor. There are thousands of us across Canada cracking the code on vacation savings so you can crack open that SPF.
Huh, that makes so much financial sense.
Book with your local travel advisor or at...
Autumn is a season of change. The colors of the leaves and chill in the air. As the days grow shorter, make the moments last longer at Thermea Spa Village. Engage your senses with an Ufgas ritual. Delight in seasonal flavors with a carefully crafted culinary experience. Relax in a hot bath and soak in the beauty of autumn. Plan your personalized weekday getaway at thermea.com/Whitby. Take good care.
Tangerine Raptors basketball is on TSN 1050. The Raptors live here.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Arena. Raptors at the half, 69-49. Cleveland over the Raptors. Jim Taddy, Warren Ward, Josh Blumenberg with you. Warren, let's start with you. Not a great second quarter. Slippage started in the first quarter towards the end of it. What went wrong?
Well, I think defensive intensity. We'll start with that, because I think that's where the Raptors need to hang their hat every single night is on the end of the floor. And we saw their starters were in contention, and then as soon as Cleveland got into a bit better rhythm offensively, they turned the Raptors over, which is not part of the Raptors' game plan. The Raptors were offensively stagnant, which allowed Cleveland to get into a bigger rhythm. And as time went on, you just seen the score start to swell. The rebounding, I thought, was decent in terms of offensive rebounds. They didn't really give up a lot, but the points in the paint for Cleveland, 36 points in the paint. So Toronto has to keep them out of the paint. That was a big glaring deficit. And then Cleveland shot 56% from the field, so everything easy pretty much, and they didn't have to force much. So I think defensively the Raptors need to clamp together and make sure that they're at least going to guard the paint and make it tougher for Cleveland. I do think some of the officiating calls were just atrocious. I mean, you're given Grady gets slapped across the head, no foul call. And then Donovan Mitchell gets a feather tap, and it's a foul call. So I mean, I don't want to harp on that because that's not the totality of the half. But yeah. I do think as time goes on, like I said, the Raptors started off the game really well, and then the intensity defensively started to dwindle. And Cleveland is a talented team, and their depth is better than the Raptors' depth tonight, at least in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, look, the defensive drop-off in the second quarter specifically, you know that's going to irk Darko Rajakovic, who has spent the better part of the last month preaching defense, and specifically perimeter defense, guarding at the point of attack. And I think the Raptors did a pretty good job of that out of the gate, putting a lot of pressure on Cleveland's ball handlers, picking up full court, and even forcing some turnovers in the backcourt. But the issue tonight, not necessarily a surprising one, it's been interior defense, rim protection. I think that's going to be the case for a lot of teams going up against the Cavs this year, just with Cleveland's size, obviously, on the interior, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, but also their speed and quickness, their dribble penetration, the guards getting to the rim. But then you have this Raptors team which is already lacking in size in the interior outside of Jakob Poeltl. You subtract Kelly Olynyk, and I mean, look, he's going to give you good minutes as the backup five once he gets healthy. He's not necessarily known as a rim protector, so I think if you're looking at the defense overall with this roster, that's the concern here. It's not going to be like this every night, but the Raptors have to find somebody who can give them some good minutes when Poeltl goes to the bench. That was the issue, not the only issue here. I would say it was a team effort in terms of letting this lead go in the first half, but specifically, as Warren mentioned, when the Raptors went to the bench, Poeltl specifically went to the bench. Bruno Fernando, the last guy to make this 15-man roster in training camp, he's getting back up 5 minutes right now with Kelly out, and he was really exploited on the inside. They went small for a bit with Mobo out there, but Raptors really searching for answers. Of those 36 points in the paint that Warren mentioned, 34 of them came right at the rim, and I would imagine that most of them were relatively easy, straightforward dunks and layups.
Absolutely. So let's go to the rotation. I mean, this is an entirely, outside of Boucher, an entirely new rotation in terms of depth. I mean, they've got to find their way.
And that's exactly it. They have to find their way. I thought Boucher did well in terms of scoring. I thought Shed as well picks up full court. Don and Davion Mitchell. But in terms of offensive production, that is where I think the Raptors are going to struggle a bit this season in terms of getting the quality production on both ends of the floor. I think right now you can get one end, and I think the Raptors defensively are good, but it's tough to do that, as Josh mentioned, against a team with two twin towers. And that ball screen in the middle of the floor, whether it's Mitchell, whether it is Ty Jerome, Cleveland is just getting whatever they want in terms of lobs at the rim. And even if you drive to the rim and you're not on balance, or you might lose the basketball, you can just throw it up there to those two guys. So that's an advantage for Cleveland. It's going to be up to the Raptors to not get beat off the dribble initially and keep people in front of them, but that requires a lot more effort on the defensive end, which then takes away from the offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, a lot has been made of this very tough schedule to start the season. And look, it's not hyperbole. You have Cleveland tonight, undermanned Philadelphia, but still a very good Philadelphia team. And then the hits keep coming. Some really good teams coming in here. And you talk about the rotation, Tap Man. It's like, okay, well, you're facing great teams. You're already a young team that was probably going to have some growing pains early on. And then you're subtracting 4 guys from the lineup right now. You're hoping to get RJ Barrett back soon, but 4 guys from the lineup right now. All 4 of them were expected to be rotation players. So it's really tough. This wasn't a deep team even going into training camp, and you're already subtracting some key pieces. So what we've seen tonight is a bunch of young guys who might not have been getting this opportunity otherwise that are getting a chance to play here on opening night. It's a good opportunity for them to prove themselves, but at the same time, it's a lot to ask from some guys in the case of Shed and Mobo who have never even played in an NBA game before.
Thanks, Josh. And the hope is that Quickly comes back in the second half. He landed rather hard on the hip and had to leave, went for repairs. I don't know if I can see him down there, but hopefully he comes back in the second half and he's okay. So it is 69-49 for Cleveland over the Raptors at the half. The second half is next. This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050.
Whatever the weather, CMC Markets is here to help. Planning for a rainy day? Enjoy $0 commission on U.S. and Canadian share CFDs. Riding out the storm? Get ahead of the curve with lightning-fast execution speeds. Blue skies ahead? Go with the trusted broker backed by over 30 years experience. Switch to CMC Markets and join over 275,000 global traders. Learn more at cmcmarkets.ca. FX spreads apply. CFDs involve a high degree of risk. Member Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Umbrella not included.
Getting my Honda CR-V has opened the door to adventure. With Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency, I'm free to explore. And with tons of cargo space, it's easy to pack for getaways. My dog, camping gear. It's like I've discovered a wild, adventurous side of me. Whoop, Alice is excited too.
Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive for $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,000 down. Offer includes $1,500 lease bonus. OAC conditions apply. See HondaOntario.com.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Mary, who stands 5 inches away from her 55-inch flat-screen TV and yells at it even though she knows no one on the TV can hear a word she's saying. Is it effective? There's no evidence. Do we support her? Yeah. Screaming at the TV for all 4 quarters. That's how Mary fans. And we're fans of Mary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew! Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows on your smart speaker. Simply tell your smart speaker to listen to TSN 1050 everywhere you want it.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Arena. The Raptors down by 20 at the break, getting set for the second half. And let's go back over the first half for a bit. Bench points, Cleveland 16-12 over Toronto. As Warren pointed out, the points in the paints, 36 for Cleveland, 12 for the Raptors. So some work to be done there. In terms of individual points, Grady Dick had 11 at the half, had 9 in the first quarter. Quickly, who had to leave the game, had 13. And on the other side, Mobley leading the way with 19. Mitchell had 15 to drive Cleveland forward. So we'll see what happens. The second half is about set to start. Let's go courtside now. Paul Jones and Javon Shepherd will take us home. Jonesy, go away, or here you go.
Jim, we've got a report. Javon has a report on
Emmanuel
Quickly going back to the locker room.
Right pelvic contusion, will not return tonight.
Ouch. And I don't mean that just literally.
Right pelvic contusion.
Raptors start the third quarter with the ball, and Scotty Barnes scores in the lane. Toronto's going to need a whole lot more of that, Javon. If they're coming back, they're down 18, 69-51. Mitchell in the lane for Cleveland. Kicks it to Garland. Cleveland in the white, moving right to left toward Bay Street. Garland floats it up and in on the baseline. Cleveland back into a 20-point lead, 71-51. Raptors bring it front court, have it knocked away, but get it back. Mitchell into the lane. Started a lot in the preseason with quickly out and knocks down a 17-footer. And Ochai Agbaji takes a foul on Donovan Mitchell, trying to apply some ball pressure, but I think you got to use a little discretion at times. A 92-foot foul is not a good idea. (71-53), Cleveland leading. Front court come the Cavs in the white. Garland gets it to Dean Wade. Out there with Mobley, Allen, and Donovan Mitchell. Raptors counter Grady, Scotty Barnes. Grady blocks the shot of Garland. Agbaji, Pirtle, and Davion Mitchell for the injured Emmanuel Quickley. Very tough to develop your chemistry. The one thing you can never count on, you get derailed very easily by injuries, Javon.
Quickly.
Mobley, far side, right wing. On the bounce, into the lane, turnaround jumper over Barnes, good. Right as the shot clock expired, Cleveland back up 20. Raptors need some scores and punctuating with some stops if they're going to get back into this. Pirtle has the ball stolen from behind by Mitchell. Drives into the lane, puts the shoulder into Barnes, bounces off him, lays it in, and going to the line for one more. Got to be aware, Pirtle had his back turned. Mitchell came from the weak side with the rip, and now he's off to the races. Mitchell on the line, misses the free throw, and Grady luckily boxes the shooter out, or else Mitchell would have had that ball. Pirtle gets it to Grady. 3-ball up top, good. Down the bottom of the well for Grady. 75-56. Raptors down 19. Garland, front court. On the dribble, Grady knocks it away, but it goes right to Wade. Picks it up, back to Garland. 3 in the air, no good. Rebound, Pirtle, fouled by Dean Wade. Great hustle by Grady after knocking the ball away, getting on the ground for it. Comes up looking a little wonky, holding his left hip, left rib cage above the hip, but we play on. Davion Mitchell into the lane. Tries to find Pirtle, but it's thrown away. Mobley back into the corner. Mitchell raises up, 3, no good. Rebound knocked away. Jarrett Allen has it. 9:15 third quarter. They go down low to Mobley. Kicks it near side. Wade, 3, no good. Rebound knocked away. Cleveland will have a third opportunity. Mobley drives, leans into Grady, no foul call. Kicks it out, Garland, 3 up top, no good. Rebound Barnes emphatically. Scotty runs it front court, gets into the lane, bounces off Wade, puts it up, no good. And Cleveland has the ball. Mitchell, front court, lobs it up to Allen, and he's fouled on the dunk attempt on the lob. He'll get a couple of free throws.
They're just so tough. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland are in ball screen actions. They're so tough to guard because those guys put pressure on the rim. They get into the paint. They're both quick. Donovan Mitchell's physical, but then you have Allen and you have Mobley that are rolling to the basket. Those guys play above the rim, right? Jarrett Allen, he floats around here, gets himself to the free throw line, and we've seen him a number of times. he draws fouls rolling to the basket hard because you're caught in between whether you're the weak side defender or you're the defending big. In the ball screen, you have to make a choice, and usually he's already at the rim and you're recovering late.
So Cleveland goes up 21, 77-56, and Darko wants a quick timeout. We'll take a break. 8:35 to go, third quarter, 77-56. Cleveland with the lead. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
As fall approaches and birds head south, a different kind of bird emerges, the Subaru. While migratory flocks seek warmth, Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive keeps drivers soaring through the wild. During the migrating season, Subaru's hunger for adventure grows exponentially, driving the intrigued radio listeners to fall for Subaru at their local Subaru dealerships, experiencing an adventure of their own. So migrate to your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Firefighter Finn McHose, that's a nickname, right? Needed help contending with a blaze of debt. He called Alpine Credits and a superhero was sent his way. Summoning water, she extinguished the fire and consolidated his debt into one low monthly payment. His floors may be wet, but his debt is under control. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Touchdown. Great catch. Give me a high five. 5 minutes later. Interception. Awesome play. Give me a high five. 2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives. I meant... never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
2-for-1 Pizza. 2-for-1.
First Up with Korolnik and Koliakovo. Weekday morning 6 till 10 on TSN 1050.
You ain't first, you're last.
Third quarter, Cleveland leading Toronto 77-56. This one really got away from the Raptors in the third quarter, in the middle of the second quarter. This third quarter action is delivered to you by 2-for-1 Pizza. Give yourself a high five. Buy a large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for $5 each. 2for1pizza.com. I know what we're going to be ordering the first time we have a studio game.
And it's going to be on Taddy. It's gonna, in case you didn't hear me, it's gonna be on Taddy.
You're still spending Taddy's money, huh?
I don't care how he gets it, but he's gonna get it. We don't have to go for the money, but he may have coupons. Taddy's a man, he has people in places.
I got a guy. That's Taddy's line, right? I got a guy.
I got a guy.
Yes, guy. Yes, guy. I got a guy. As he gives us the three-point signal from up top. Jim, the Raptors could use a few three-pointers. Keep that signal handy. Shed up top to Barnes. Raptors in the purple with black backing. The old school uniforms worn by Vince Carter as they move left to right. Mitchell in the lane. Davion Mitchell floats it up under duress from Mobley. No good. Rebound Cleveland. Here comes Garland. Front court. On the bounce. Gets into the lane. Finds Jared Allen. Kick out Mobley. Drives on Mitchell. Cross-court pass. They find Mitchell. Got away with the travel, and Mobley gets a dunk. 79-56 Cleveland.
He's everywhere. 23 points from 7 rebounds and 9 of 13 shooting.
Shed, cross-court. Raptors swing it. Down the baseline, far side, Mitchell. Now to Barnes, to Pirtle up top. Pirtle. Drives on Allen, puts it up, no good. Allen with the defense. Here comes Garland. On the run, into the lane, lays it up and in. 25-point lead for Cleveland, 81-56. Barnes back to Shed, 3 up top, no good. Raptors playing, well, I wouldn't say necessarily out of character, but this is not what Darko probably wants to see consistently. Mitchell in the lane is fouled. Donovan Mitchell. And they're going to have the foul on his counterpart with the same initials, Davion Mitchell, for the Raptors. 45 on 45. Chris Boucher and Jamison Battle checking in. Battle known for his shooting. Three-point marksman, he'll have to get it going if he's going to help Toronto get back in this. Donovan Mitchell at the line. 18 points, a couple of rebounds, 3 assists. Second free throw is good. Cleveland's lead is 26. Raptors got to start chipping away somehow or other. Barnes up top, drives against Allen. Finds Boucher. Chris drives, floats it up, no good. Rebound, Cleveland. They can't handle it. Jamison Battle 3 right on line. It's Londo. Back comes Barnes, lays it up, no good, but he's fouled. Raptors can't get anything to go. They made 10 field goals in the first quarter. We are 6:42 to go third quarter. They've made 9 since. What's the formula for the comeback, Javon?
Formula is just being stable, right? And, you know, when we talk about comeback, it's just seeing you make an effort, seeing you chip away at it, seeing, you know, improvement on your play from the second quarter. And that comes in the form of stability, right? Making sound plays, defensively, communicating, getting that energy, that body language back. And it's always stringing together in 2 to 3 possessions at a time.
83-57, Cleveland. LeVert drives, gets into the lane, floats it up and in.
And that's the lack of stability that I'm talking about there. If you get a blow-by, you know, a clean shot like that, you can't afford those. So guys have got to, you know, guard their yard, keep the man in front of them, and then the help has got to be disciplined and get back.
Barnes pull up after shedding LeVert, can't get it to go. Cleveland comes back in a rare turnover for the Cavs. Only the 8th of the game. And Toronto will bring it back. .605 third quarter. Cleveland 85, Toronto 57. Jamal Shed into the lane. Drives on Allen, floats it up, no good, but Shed, a little man, knowing what to do, kind of leans in, gets the contact on the shot blocker, Jarrett Allen, and got the foul call. Javon, we know that when there's a shot blocker, you can't that stuff.
Get right to it.
Get into the body.
Get out of there.
Shed, free throw, good. Cleveland timeout, so we'll take a break too. 5:54 third quarter, 85-58 Cleveland. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Oh, Maya. Maya. She loves being.
Cheers, insiders. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight during the Raptors NBA tip-off game against the Cavaliers. Please let us know where you're watching from in the chat. Let us know. Give us those flag emojis if you're international. If you're in Canada, let us know your city and province. And in the United States, city and state. This is how we grow this community. The more you guys chat it up and let us know where you're watching from, the more we get this link shared out throughout the entire world. And we're going to have the best Raptors community in the world right here on TSI, because that's what we're doing with all the other sports, right? Let's get back to the basketball. Thank you and cheers to all of you from around the world. We'll see you back in the chat. Let's go Raptors.
On the 11th hour,
Of the 11th day of the 11th month, we encourage Canadians to pause and remember all that veterans have sacrificed for us. From the National War Memorial in Ottawa to remembrance ceremonies in cities, towns, and villages from coast to coast to coast, let's join together in honoring our veterans this November 11th. Lest we forget, find a remembrance ceremony in your community by visiting legion.ca. A message from the Royal Canadian Legion.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream us on iHeartRadio, the TSN app, or on Apple CarPlay. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
5:54, third quarter. Raptors trailing 85-58, and a rousing ovation for Terrence Gerard Ford, TJ Ford, who was one of the great Raptor point guards that we've had here over the years. Stoudemire, Calderon, TJ Ford. We're hoping that Emmanuel quickly will develop that way. Think about Alvin Williams, Kyle Lowry. The point position, really important here in Toronto. And we've had some good ones. TJ was lightning, man. When he got into the lane, it was lights out.
It is nostalgic seeing all these guys.
Yeah.
This gives you flashbacks, but also a reminder of how old you really are. Just seeing these guys around. You remember when they came into the league, and I remember watching them, and I'm seeing guys. I'm just seeing Danny Green the other day retire. That's the guy that I came in. You know, I actually worked out. My Raptors draft workout was actually with Danny Green, and then just to see those guys start to phase out.
The game never stops. LeVert with a dunk beat Grady Dick on the inbound. 87-59 Cleveland. Pirtle on the elbow, far side. Gets it to Jamison Battle. Now to Shed. Into the lane. Shed floats it up and in, and a foul. Jamal Shed doing a nice job in the lane. Strong take by the Houston Cougar. What do you think happens if he's not hurt last year in the tournament, Javon? March Madness. I know you covered that extent. I like this kid. I really do.
Listen, if Jamal Shed is on the floor, it doesn't matter what the team looks like. And if he was healthy, that Houston team has every chance in the world to win the national championship.
Garland front court, 87-62. Cleveland with the lead. Garland trying to shake Shed to no avail. Jamal with great ball pressure. Now he gets a switch on the Battle. Merrill drives. Shed locking him up. Merrill, one on the shot clock. Got to force it. No good.
That is defense.
That's one-man defense. And the crowd appreciates it. And the bench standing. Grady drive, lay it up. No good. Pirtle, kick out. Shed, why not? No good. Rebound tipped up and in by Grady. Timeout. Cleveland.
And I knew when Jamal Shed took that shot, I knew it was going to be short because he was so gassed from the last play. We often talk about a one-man fast break. Well, we just watched a one-man defensive clinic just a while ago. Jamal Shed on Merrill, just on him like a shadow. White on Rice, not letting him get anywhere.
Timeout. Cleveland will keep it here. 4:38 to go. Third quarter, 87-64. Raptors down, but Jamal Shed putting a charge into the building without even touching the ball, Javon.
And, you watch him play, and it's nothing offensively. And, yeah, you can talk about the defense that he plays, but the joy in which he plays that level of defense, the joy in when she plays with that level of intensity. It's so contagious for everybody around him. On that one possession, he not only got the other 4 guys on his team into passing lanes and defending, but you could start to feel the energy in the building shift. And everybody was like, this is extremely impressive to see this guy move his feet the way he does, but also move his active hands and stay disciplined and not foul.
Well, that's always a key. Coaches stress, play good defense without fouling, without giving stuff away. Raptors trying to make a run. (87-64) Cleveland. Still leading by 23. LeVert 3 up top, got it. Came clean off the screening action and knocked it out. Front court come the Raptors. Down 90-64. Shed drives, kicks it cross court. Boucher into the lane, bounces off Niang, puts it up off balance, no good. Back comes LeVert. On the dribble, into the lane. Lefty shot up and in by Karis LeVert. 92-64, Cleveland. Shed into the lane to Boucher. 3 up top, good. Down the bottom of the well for Chris Boucher. Cleveland turns it over. Here comes Toronto. 3:36 third quarter. 92-67. Grady drives. Boucher in the corner. And on the catch, stepping back to plant, he stepped out of bounds. Oh boy. So that'll turn it over and give it back to Cleveland. Turnover number 13 for the Raptors.
Those 13 turnovers have led to 17 points.
Garland up top, into the lane to Allen. Misses the dunk, but they're going to get the foul call on Bruno Fernando. You know, Javon, with everybody, and I look at Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and Jamal Shed did a nice job there in the defense, but their screen and the rolling action, the late pocket pass, the momentary engagement of the big defensively to allow for some room to get that pass off. Man, they are so good at that.
Yeah, you know, I mentioned before how well their guards put pressure on the rim, and that adds to it, but you got to really credit the bigs because the timing on those rolls is imperative, right? And when you get the right timing, those guys are getting the lob. Ooh, talk about timing.
Yes,
Jamal Shed getting into the paint, and Fernando getting up above the rim.
Shed to Fernando. The Raptors cut it to 93-69. Garland up top on Shed. Jamal right with him. Garland steps through with the left hand. The floater no good, but they've got the foul called on Georges Niang on the push in the back. So the Raptors will walk to the other end and take a couple of free throws. I'm so impressed with Jamal Shed's effort and skill on the defensive end, staying in front, applying pressure, not fouling, not biting on fakes, doing a terrific job right now.
Hey, you know, he can, you mentioned it, he doesn't bite on fakes, but he still contests on fakes, right? He's right there, not getting his hand in there, not fouling, moving his feet, right? You would hate to play against him. And again, he does it with such conviction on the defensive end and such joy that you can all, you know, even his teammates sometimes are getting caught mesmerized by the level of defense that he is playing.
And what's the old adage defensively? Don't jump till he jumps when you're contesting a shot. I mean, the NBA guys do make contested shots.
Well, you know, on that last possession, that was Darius Garland that he was matched up with. And, you know, he went into his package and forced him into a tough spin off of that left-handed floater. Like, that's one of the elite guards in the league.
LeVert pull-up jumper, 95-70 Cleveland. 2:25 third quarter. Grady up top. Gets it to Boucher, near side, drive into the lane. Fernando, Bruno, great up fake, misses the layup, tips it up twice. The second one goes down. 95-72. LeVert, near side, left wing. Cleveland in the white, coming right to left towards the Bay Street end of Scotiabank Arena. Kenny Atkinson upset that there wasn't a foul called, and LeVert was hit in the face. So we'll keep it here as the Raptors continue to try and cut the deficit, chop wood, carry water, and see where it lands you. 2 minutes to go, third quarter, 95-72, Cleveland with the lead. Darko looking for a spark, as he's had 6 bench players in the game. He's gone 11 deep, Javon, trying to get this thing back if you're the Raptors.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't help with quickly out of the game, who played 14 minutes. He's actually playing really well, 13 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. And right now, everybody's going to have to elevate and pick up their play. And I thought Jamal Shead has done that in this third quarter with, you know, his defensive intensity. But again, that's not a guy that you're going to look to for much offense, right? So everything is going to have to really start on the defensive end of the floor. And hopefully you can generate some offense from your defense. You look at the lineup that they have on the floor right now: Shed, Dick, Barnes, Boucher, and Fernando. Right, the length of Barnes, Boucher, and Fernando, if you can use that to get some deflections. Grady Dick is out there active, and Jamal Shed really dictating the guard play. Right, this is where you want to muster up a couple points in these last 2 minutes and give yourself some rhythm going into the fourth.
Boucher knocks it away from Mobley, picks him up near center. Mobley drives right, loses the ball, and Niang has it. His shot deflected by Grady. Good contest. Here comes Toronto. Shed, front court, kicks to Boucher. 3 in the air, good. Down the bottom of the well for Chris Boucher, 95-75.
Good look by Jamal Shed, attacking on the left side of the floor. Get that strong side help, and you know he pitches it off to Chris Boucher for the 3.
Niang, corner 3, good.
You can't leave him. Right? There's one thing that he's going to do is just knock down open shots.
I look at that body. That's a Saturday morning YMCA guy.
And you know what?
And he can shoot it. That's why he's on the floor.
He's one of 17 players in the NBA to play 82 games last season.
Yeah.
You look at his body. He doesn't look durable. But one of 17 guys, and also shoots that thing at a 45% clip from 3. So gotta find him, and he's gonna be there for all 82.
There's no secrets, man. Kind of like that fastball receiver, reliever that throws it 100 miles an hour. You know it's coming. Garland in the lane to Niang. 3 in the air, got it again. I mean, those two were clean. That's why he's in the league. 101-75 Cleveland. Grady 3 up top, can't get it. And they say stay here with bodies flying out of bounds. Kind of like one of those old Western movies where guys go flying through the saloon doors. (101-75). Barnes on the line. Free throw is good. Second free throw by Scotty, also good. Barnes with 9 points tonight, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. LeVert, front court, on Fernando, near side, left wing. Turns, drives into the lane, reverse layup, no good. And the foul on Barnes. Scotty wants the review. And Darko trusting his star player. saying, give me the review, calling the timeout. Might as well. 34 seconds, third quarter. Raptors down 101-77.
Toronto has called a timeout to initiate coach's challenge on the foul of Seth Barnes.
34.4 to go. We'll get a look at it on the monitor here. LeVert with a hesitation dribble drives baseline. And it looked like Scotty got him on the elbow. Well, maybe not.
Tough angle to really catch that, because it actually looks like Scotty gets a tip on the ball first. You gonna do double duty on this one? Well,
I would say kind of like the WNBA game the other night. The referees hate to be wrong in front of 20,000 people. And that was obviously Breanna Stewart traveling and then getting away with having a fouled call on a no foul. If I sound like I was cheering for Minnesota, they have one of our Canadian Olympians, Bridget Carleton, on their team, so I'm with them. But let the conspiracy theories run abound with New York getting the calls. Here's Mark Davis.
Replay has shown that Barnes illegally contacted LeVert on his missed layup. Therefore, this challenge is unsuccessful. 2 free throws for LeVert. Toronto is charged with timeout, and they do not have another challenge.
Well, there you go. Nice work by our courtside engineer, Josh Lipa, to get the Mark Davis call. Cast of thousands to keep us on the air this season. Cameron Moore up top with Taddy and Ward. You heard from Lewinberg earlier. And Matt Cardadero and Owen Hall back at Raptor Central. Well, LeVert misses the first free throw. I'm not sure if that's ball don't lie, but second one goes down. 102-77 Cleveland. 33 seconds to go, third quarter. Shed, front court to Grady. Cleveland in the 2-3 zone. Barnes, ball fake, jumper no good, rebound tipped up and in. Either Fernando or Boucher, both were there. They give it to Boucher. 102-79, 10 seconds, third quarter. Up top, LeVert against Grady. Drives, steps back for the three and got it at the buzzer. 105-79, 3 quarters in the books. Cleveland with a comfortable lead.
We'll review this shot to determine if
Fourth quarter, when we come back, Cleveland 105, Toronto 79. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball across the TSN radio network.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Gary, who lies with reckless abandon every time he's invited out on game night, so he doesn't have to miss game night. Sorry, it's mating season for my pet squid. My e-scooter is out of gas. I ate a beanless burrito? My shoulder blade feels dull. I'm traveling to the 16th century? That's how Gary fans. And we're fans of Gary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Getting my Honda CR-V has opened the door to adventure with Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency and free to explore. And with tons of cargo space, it's easy to pack for getaways. My dog, camping gear. It's like I've discovered a wild, adventurous side of me. Whoop. Alice is excited too.
Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive from $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,000 down. Offer includes $1,500 lease bonus. OAC conditions apply. See HondaOntario.com.
We all know things tend to break when you need them most, like your furnace breaking down in the middle of a cold snap. That's why Enercare is offering a free furnace checkup for homeowners in the GTA. That's a $99 value. If your furnace has any issues, our EnerCare experts can fix it, or we can get you a new one as soon as the next day. Don't get stuck shivering. Keep your home comfortable with EnerCare. Terms and conditions apply. Visit enercare.ca.
EnerCare. Experts at home.
Overdrive, Toronto's favorite way to drive home.
Hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. The one that's hanging out with us listening to the Raptors opening night against the Cavs. Thank you for hanging out with us. Please take a second to hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live here on Toronto Sports Insider for every single Toronto Raptors game this season. We're growing a big Raptors community to have some fun and cheer on our boys out on the court. So please hit that bell and let's get back to the basketball. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. We're on our way to 75K. Let's go Raptors.
On Stocks. This second half powered by Honda. In the lane, Mobley runs into resistance, and they're going to call a foul on Toronto. Boucher, battle. Mitchell, Fernando, and Abaji on the court for Toronto. LeVert into the lane. The running hook up and in. LeVert has been tough tonight off the bench. He's a guy I think very quietly could be a sixth man of the year candidate.
And for him just staying healthy and playing this level of basketball right here, that he's playing 19 points, 4 assists, but he just understands his role, especially with that second unit.
Fernando, elbow jumper, no good. Rebound, Cleveland. Mobley pushes it up the floor. Kicks it near side. Donovan Mitchell, shot fake. Drive into the lane, the running hook up and in.
That's such a tough scoop, right? Gets into the paint, bounces off a couple bodies like a fullback, and then that scoop extends with that right hand hook on the move.
Mitchell into the lane, floats it up and in. Davion Mitchell.
Davion gives a left hand special to the same exact action, getting downhill. Left hand high off the glass.
Donovan Mitchell up top, guarded by Abaji. Works far side, right wing. 10:35, fourth quarter. Okoro underneath, has it knocked away. Here comes Toronto. 2-on-1. Davion Mitchell lays it up and in. Great pass by Boucher. 109-83. LeVert on the bounce. Into the lane. Misdirection step, no good. Rebound knocked away by LeVert. It'll be Toronto basketball. Raptors will bring it front court in the old school purple with the black backing and black trims. 109-83. They come front court left to right. Jamison battle up top. Steps back for three, no good. Rebound, Bruno Fernando. Looked like he was being held by Mobley. No foul call. Toronto ball. Baseline left, far side. Mitchell inbound to Fernando. Back to Davion Mitchell. Near side, battle. Great pass to Boucher in the lane. He's fouled by Mobley. Not just a shooter, that was a good shovel pass, pocket pass by Jamison Battle. Boucher, free throw up and in. Leading scorer with 17 off the bench for Toronto, Chris Boucher in 19 minutes. Second one good for Boucher. 109-85. Abaji picks up Ty Jerome midcourt. Now Mobley straight away between the rings. Gets it back to Jerome, far side. Three in the air, good. Comes off a screen, the Raptors went under, and Jerome punches it down. 112-85. Davion Mitchell, near side. Drives on Mobley. The pass to a cutting battle was knocked away. Here comes Jerome, blocked by Abaji. Here comes Boucher. Drives on Mobley, floats it up, no good. Rebound out of bounds. It'll be Cleveland ball. Here come the Cavs. Front court, right to left toward Bay Street, leading 112-85. Mobley, runner in the lane, no good. Gets his rebound back and is fouled by Bruno Fernando. He'll go to the line for two. Bruno Fernando takes his fourth personal of the game.
Mobley knocking down the first of two. 24 points for him, 8 rebounds and 2 assists.
Well, remember, this was a Cleveland team that took one of the 2 games that Boston lost in the playoffs from them.
Well, you look at this Cleveland team, and you can't forget this is the team that finished 4th in the East last season, right? And this is the same group here.
With more experience and more incentive as Niang scores on the reverse layup, 116-85. The horse is out of the barn right now. 8.5 to go, fourth quarter. The Cavs comfortably in control. Let's take a break. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Touchdown. Great catch. Give me a high five. 5 minutes later. Interception. Awesome play. Give me a high five. 2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives.
I meant, never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium 1-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
2-for-1 pizza, 2-for-1.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Mary, who stands 5 inches away from her 55-inch flat-screen TV and yells at it even though she knows no one on the TV can hear a word she's saying. Is it effective? There's no evidence. Do we support her? Yeah. Screaming at the TV for all 4 quarters. That's how Mary fans. And we're fans of Mary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
A 2025 Canada's Wonderland Gold Pass is your ticket to unlimited visits through the rest of this year and all of 2025. Make the park your own with access to 2 years of Halloween Haunt and Winterfest. Plus, ride the all-new Alpine Fury, Canada's longest, tallest, and fastest launch coaster, coming in 2025. All for just 12 payments of $9, plus taxes and processing fee up to $9.99. Online only. Get your 2025 Gold Pass now at canadaswonderland.com.
There's no better way to drive home than with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog. Overdrive every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Back in Toronto, 116-85. This one getting away from Toronto, and it happened late in the second quarter, Javon, when they turned it over, went to a dry spell offensively, and then defensively just could not get the stops. Cleveland scoring off turnovers, 16 turnovers, 23 points. And that's your ball game if you're Toronto.
Yeah, and you know what, Jones? We shouldn't be surprised by any of this. I think this is a reminder, and firstly, this is an opportunity for these guys to go out and compete against somebody else in a real game where the wins and losses actually count. So Cleveland's coming out here, they smell blood, they're going to eat, right? They want to eat. So for Toronto, it is, you take this game, and obviously you have 8 minutes and 24 seconds left. You learn from this game, and just understand that your level of effort combined with discipline has to be, at a high level for the other 81 games of the season, right? And that's something to take away right away. Is not just the effort. The effort has to be sustainable, but the discipline is going to be that much more important as well, and that's going to be on Coach Darko.
Fernando in the lane on Tristan Thompson. The jump hook is up and good. Cleveland clearing the bench. 8 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Okoro in there with Niang. The aforementioned Tristan Thompson.
Double T.
And he can't grab that rebound of the missed shot. Back come the Raptors. Battle to Garrett Temple. 3-ball, no good near side. Rebound off Jonathan Mobo, out of bound. Craig Porter Jr., the 5th member of the Cavs, on the floor. And he will bring it front court. Okoro drives and fouled by Jamison Battle. Well, the Raptors trying stuff out, looking for combinations, seeing what they can find. Shed with the strip on the drive. Brings it front court to Battle. Jamison Battle, 3, got it far side, down the bottom of the well.
I love how confident Battle is.
Yeah.
And you know what tells you that as well? Not that he hit the shot, but Jamal Shed in transition right away pulled up and knew to get him that basketball on that left wing.
A little bit of chemistry there from training camp, right?
There was no question at all where that basketball was going for Shed.
Craig Porter Jr. to Ty Jerome. Into the lane. Floats it up. Got the soft roll. Hit like 3 rims and went down. 118-90. Cleveland in front comfortably. Shed into the lane. Kicks. And they've got a foul on Shed as he went airborne on the pass and ran over Okoro. More subs into the game for Cleveland. Jalen Tyson, 20th pick in the draft out of Cal. Although he's played for 3 teams in 3 years during his college career. 8 games for Texas, then to Texas Tech before becoming a Golden Bear. Tyson kicks it out. Porter turns down the shot. It's a screen from Thompson in the lane. Kicks it out. Ty Jerome off balance, 3 goes in. Wow, it's your night. When those things start going, you know you're on. Bobo to Temple, now to Fernando. Back to Garrett Temple, turns the corner. Kicks out to Shed, 3-ball in and out. Rebound Okoro. Front court, far side, 5:45. And a basket cut by Craig Porter Jr. lays it in. 123-90. An early test of mettle and character, Javon, being down by this much. Battle, 3-ball good, far side, down the bottom of the well. Timeout, Cleveland. Let's take a break. 5:28 to go. Fourth quarter, 123-93. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Gary, who lies with reckless abandon every time he's invited out on game night, so he doesn't have to miss game night. Sorry, it's mating season for my pet squid. My e-scooter is out of gas. I ate a beanless burrito. My shoulder blade feels dull. I'm traveling to the 16th century? That's how Gary fans. And we're fans of Gary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Touchdown. Great catch. Give me a high five. 5 minutes later. Interception. Awesome play. Give me a high five. 2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives. I meant, never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
2-for-1 pizza. 2-for-1.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Gary, who lies with reckless abandon every time he's invited out on game night, so he doesn't have to miss game night. Sorry, it's mating season for my pet squid. My e-scooter is out of gas. I ate a beanless burrito. My shoulder blade feels dull. I'm traveling to the 16th century? That's how Gary fans. And we're fans of Gary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows in your car. Available on Apple CarPlay via the iHeartRadio app. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
5:29. Fourth quarter, 123-93 Cleveland. Javon, you said something I'd like you to kind of expand on. You said you kind of have to expect some of this. And you talked a little bit about it, but give me a little more meat as to why in terms of, well, I mean, you're developing things, you're rebuilding. There are going to be nights like this.
Yeah, there's going to be nights like this, and what you have to keep in mind is that you're developing and maturing raw talent, right? And what the raw talent has to figure out and understand is the nuances of the game, the little things that make up the 48 minutes of the game. And then again, you know, you're a leader in Scotty Barnes. We're not talking about talent with him. We're talking about him learning how to lead a group, lead a group of Lions, and, you know, get the best out of everybody. So those little things like that, when we seen the 8-0 run, the big run in the second quarter when the team got deflated and really couldn't dig themselves out of it, you know, next game, if you're able to mitigate and lessen that run, then you've learned from this game. But it's little things like those. So, you know, this doesn't surprise me, this game.
Jonathan Mobo knocks down a three, far side.
The other angle to that is, the other element there is just learning how to play when you're shorthanded, right? This team doesn't have the luxury of playing through injuries or, you know, Mobo,
yeah, he picks off the ball and went coast to coast. That's something Darko likes to see. He wants the ball over center in 3 seconds.
Good job there, Mobo pushing it.
Yeah, Mobo, one-man fast break there.
Yeah, and back to my point earlier is that the team doesn't have the fortune and the luxury of depth at this point. So when you're missing R.J. Barrett, Manuel quickly leaves the game after, 14 minutes of action with right hip contusion, right pelvic contusion. And Kelly Olynyk, who's your backup center, that's a facilitator, is all off of the floor. And your rookie Walters in the game as well. He's out with injury. Then that hurts, right? You don't have the depth there. So for these guys, it's, you know, just learning from these moments. And the Scotty Barnes, the Grady Dix, the Davion Mitchells, there's gonna be nights like this, but you have to fight through until the Cavalry's back.
Mobo makes free throws, 123-98. And on the drive, Garrett Temple fouls Jalen Tyson. So it's been a quick night's work for some of the Cleveland starters. Talk about load management. Well, you get your work done early and you can rest. When you think about Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell, less than 30 minutes. Darius Garland, 23 minutes. Dean Wade, 20 minutes. Evan Mobley, 27. And Jarrett Allen, 26. Kenny Atkinson saving some miles on some of his starters right now. Oh, I'd love to be in on that conversation on the baseline as Mobo lays it up and in. TJ Ford talking to Damon Stoudemire. How about that one? Don't you think there's some...
Who's faster? Who was faster in their prime?
I'll tell you, both of those guys, as Jalen Tyson knocks down the triple.
Baseline to baseline, I'm going TJ Ford.
Both of those guys were
going Damon Stoudemire.
Both of those guys were faster with the ball than they were without it. Ulrich Shamshi, the 18-year-old, gets a bucket in his first NBA game. Okoro drives and is fouled by Garrett Temple. Shamshi, the first 18-year-old to play for the Raptors since Tracy McGrady in 1998.
That's some good company.
Yeah.
That's some really good company.
Okoro makes the second free throw. (128-102) Cleveland. And they've got the foul call on Jalen Tyson running into Jonathan Mobo as he tried to fight through the screen. 128-102 Cleveland. And how about Tristan Thompson, the 14-year veteran, matched up with the 18-year-old Ulrich Shamshi. Raptors turn it over. Back comes Cleveland. Well, Mama said there'd be nights like this when you're rebuilding. And to think about it as the renovation of the room in the house, Javon. It always looks better, always looks worse before it looks better when it's torn down. Craig Porter Jr. drives and lays it in. 130-102. Mitchell, front court for Toronto. Davion Mitchell steps back for three, no good. Rebound knocked away. Here comes Cleveland. Ty Jerome, pass deflected. Davion Mitchell going to get a run out, a breakaway layup. Davion Mitchell with 8 points on the night on 4 of 10 from the floor. Ty Jerome, front court. Tristan Thompson near side, left wing in front of the bench to Porter. Back to Thompson. Tristan squares, drives, a jump hook, no good. Rebound. Here comes Garrett Temple. On the drive, good screen by Shamshi. Mobo drives into the lane, floats it up, no good. Rebound Cleveland, minute 50 to go. Cavs up 130-104. And if you're Cleveland, this is kind of, well, business as usual, what you expect, right? You were a playoff team, second round last year. This just starts to climb up the mountain, Javon.
Yeah, for Cleveland, you're trying to build on where you just left off, right? So you have the cusp of your team, the core of your team. You've made a coaching change that is supposed to inspire and motivate the guys that are here. And, you know, a message from the front office that the expectation, the bar is move forward, right? And for this group here, you commend them and congratulate them on their first victory. But it's, you know, a long season, and they got to continue to build as well. Everybody's building for something different. There's a different goal for each organization.
Tristan Thompson back home in Toronto, lays it up and in. 1 minute to go, 134-104 Cleveland. Like I said, this thing got away from the Raptors in the second quarter. They went down 20. Okoro on a run out gets the dunk. 136-104. Really important, Javon, for the Raptors to get off the mat on this one and not have, although sometimes you can't help it with the injuries to Barrett, quickly, Olynyk. That's what hurt them at the end of last year. And right now, with 3 of those guys injured, I know it's the start of a new year, but it feels like a hangover from last year.
Last year, yeah.
Cleveland takes the turnover, and the Raptors will get the last shot of the game. If they choose to take it, Mitchell now brings it front court, and I don't think he will. Official Sean Wright just told Mitchell something. I'm sure they shared a laugh. Mitchell was dribbling the ball by punching it. And that's a violation, to punch the ball. And you could read Sean Wright saying to Davion Mitchell, you can't do that. It's a violation. I'm not calling it. And as if Davion Mitchell said, oh, for real? So it's a final. Cleveland 136. Toronto 106. The Cavs break from the gate this season with a win. The Raptors will get ready for Philadelphia on Friday night. Middle of the second quarter, it got away, and the Raptors were never able to put the genie back in the bottle, Javon.
Yeah, and you know, it's going to be tough for this team if they're going to be playing with injuries. Like I mentioned, they don't have the fortune, they don't have the depth or the talent right now. I shouldn't say the talent, but the talent is raw, right? And then the lack of experience to play through, you know, the injuries and so forth. Which, and it's not an excuse, because every team is going to go through it this entire season, like they do every season. But I think for, you know, the Raptors, and we've seen it in the first quarter, that level of intensity that they played with, that level of compete, they're going to have to emulate that for 48 minutes, night in, night out, and game in, game out. And that's the first stage. That's the first step in development, is being able to compete at this level, and that level of intensity and speed and physicality, and thinking through the game as well while all that's going on. I thought, you know, there's a point where, you know, the Raptors were a little hectic offensively, and Scottie Barnes was on the floor, and they didn't really go through him. And that's a situation there where Scottie, as the leader of this team, has to just get control of what's going on. And, you know, if he has to go full court and get the basketball and get everybody into place, get everybody in order, that responsibility is on him now. So, you know, something you go back to the drawing board. You know, coaches are going to look at film, but a lot to be excited about, because this whole season is going to be about learning, right? So nothing to be discouraged. This is game 1 of 82, right? And a lot to take away, a lot to learn from, and I think that's going to be the most important thing for the Toronto Raptors. Credit the Cleveland Cavaliers. They came out, did an exceptional job. Evan Mobley had himself a tremendous game. He looked so fluid. He looked in great shape. You know, showed you the outside game, put the ball on the floor, patience, reading the game. So, you know, credit them for where they are and what, you know, their aspirations this season. And good luck to them. But, you know, the Raptors have some work to do, and I think everybody understood that coming into the season. Now it's just to, you know, stay the course and continue to ride this wave.
Well, Raptors will get ready for Friday night against the Philadelphia 76ers, welcoming back former coach Nick Nurse. 136-106 is the final. Cleveland defeats Toronto. Post-game up next with Jim Taddy and Warren Ward. Thank you for listening. This has been Tangerine Raptors basketball across the TSN radio network. Good night from the floor of Scotiabank Arena.
Getting my Honda CRV has opened the door to adventure with Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency and free to explore. And with tons of cargo space, it's easy to pack for getaways. My dog, camping gear. It's like I've discovered a wild, adventurous side of me. Whoop, Alice is excited too.
Lease the CRV LX two-wheel drive for $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,000 down. Offer includes $1,500 lease bonus. OAC conditions apply. See HondaOntario.com.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Sam had aspirations of opening up.
The New York Yankees. Stanton and Judge have hit home runs. The LA Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani, a leadoff home run. Before and after every game, MLB Network Radio's experts bring you closer to the action.
We're down on the field getting you ready for first pitch.
Hear the hometown announcers on the Sirius XM app. Pre-game coverage of Game 1 of the World Series begins Friday at 5 Eastern on Channel 89. Want to hear something scary? Spirits are swirling in the Sirius XM app with creepy Halloween treats. Drift into the dark with Scream Radio. Here's Johnny. Or ride with the devil into Nitro's Halloween Headbangers. Find even more monstrous fun right now on the Sirius XM app. Just search Halloween.
Your home for the MLS Cup playoffs is Sirius XM FC.
Jordi Alba cuts it across Messi!
Every goal.
And goal! It's Luongo, the man post!
Every magical moment.
Acosta beats one man one-on-one and another. Acosta! Oh my goodness!
Until the next champion is crowned.
There's the whistle. Columbus holds on for their third MLS title.
The road to MLS Cup is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
This is Raptors Game Night on TSN 1050. The Raptors live here.
And so game one goes into the books. 136 Cleveland, Toronto 106. Opening night, 30th anniversary. Welcome to Raptors Game Night live from Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and Warren Ward and Paul Jones kind enough to hang around. And Jonesy, it was an uphill battle. They started okay, and then the fade happened and couldn't really recover. And the Quickly injury does not help.
Yeah, listen, Jim, you there's a lot to chew on there. You're right. Started well. Middle of second quarter, though, things kind of fell apart on them. They only made 6 field goals in the entire quarter, so you're not scoring. And then when you're turning it over, it's tough to stop those broken floor situations with an experienced team. I remember, as I said, Boston lost 2 games in the playoffs last year. One of them was to Cleveland. And, this is an experienced team that's coming back. And then, we talked about the Raptors' struggles offensively. Defensively, they couldn't hang on to Cleveland. And Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, that's an all-star backcourt. And they were tough to stop. Boy, Evan Mobley looks really good now, handling the ball, playing on the perimeter. He is going to be a handful shooting the 3. Cleveland looks good. And Toronto's in the rebuilding phase. And as you said, Jim, it got away from them early, and that was that.
Yeah, Cleveland, they have an entirely new system, and I think, that's centered around Mobley, and Mobley's able to showcase his full package and his full skill set. Cleveland didn't change much in terms of roster. The only thing they changed was the coach. So new system with the same sort of team, a team that is experienced, a team that definitely has more depth than Toronto. I think in terms of the Raptors, you have to look at things and ask yourself, and I'm actually going to steal your words here and say it. And it's like, when in games where you don't have it, what do you do? And what do you fall back on? And I think the first quarter, the Raptors had it. They were competing. They were able to make shots. And then when the starters start to get subbed out and the bench came in, I'm not expecting those guys to have it because they're still learning how to play in the league. So it has to come from somewhere, and it just didn't. And I feel like, Scotty would have to take a lot more of the brunt and the load offensively, which is not fair. But it is the reality of the situation. The Raptors don't have enough depth to be in a position to say, yes, we do have it, or this is an off night. Unfortunately, there will be nights like this. It's up to Toronto to limit the score and at least be able to hang their hat defensively. And tonight was an example of a team that was bigger, I would say more athletic and quicker to the ball, and they got in the paint at will. And that there lies the problem. I don't think Cleveland did anything special. They just have two guys that are 7 feet tall and any sort of ball screen middle of the floor, which is what you saw. Cleveland was able to get easier looks than Toronto. Toronto had to work a lot harder to get open looks.
Yeah, Warren, you make a great point. The 2 7-footers. And, in this day and age where everybody's running around outside the arc and launching threes, it's the same thing. I laughed at people who said, well, I'm not sure I would take Zach Edey. Hang on a second. This is a big person's game. And the bigger the bigger you are with the agility and the skill, the better off you're going to be. I'm sorry, Absolutely. It's a big person's game. So people saying, well, I don't know if Zach Edey can play in this league. Hey, man, that guy's 7 feet. He can defend the rim. He can rebound. Like I said, he's going to block shots. He's going to take up space. He's going to set good screens. He's going to score on the inside. I'm sorry, that's a good big beats a good little every day. And when you talk about those 2 7-footers, Warren, their screen and roll game and getting it to guys in the lane, Allen and Mobley, and then on the defensive end, they play with their feet. They move laterally, and you could see Scotty, normally he'd walk guys down there, and we've seen him do that for 3-4 years now. No matter who he's playing, he'll walk you down and score in the lane. Well, not so easy when one of the guys you're trying to walk down is Jared Allen. Or Evan Mobley with the length. So those 2 7-foot guys, you're right, Warren, they created a whole bunch of issues for Toronto.
Jonesy, Grady Dick had a pretty good preseason, and we saw a lot of him tonight. Played 29 minutes, had 16 points. What was your read on his performance and what this season means to him?
I thought he did a good job, Jim, early. He played with a lot of energy. What I saw was movement away from the ball by Grady and a real attempt to play solid defense. And listen, there are going to be nights where, you run into Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell. They're all-stars. But there's a new gunslinger every night on the perimeter. And for Grady, you just got to get used to that level of competition. Do your film study, do your video study, learn how to play against those guys, use your angles, know where your help is coming from. Those are all things that I saw from Grady tonight. Unfortunately, there's no Emmanuel Quickley out there to help him. There's no R.J. Barrett out there to help him. It's tough. There's no Kelly Olynyk as a big body out there to, deter a shot, grab a rebound. So it's something that, it's part of the growing pains. It's part of the learning. I thought Grady did. You look at his numbers. I thought he did a good job offensively with 16 points. A little inefficient, 5 of 13, but those were. Those were things that you're going to have to live with. Let's face it, he's on the scouting report for the other team. They know what he does, and they're going to try to take that away from him. I thought he found some other ways to do some nice things offensively tonight.
Yeah, I think, just to add to that, Boucher's minutes, Grady's minutes, Quickley's minutes when he did play, I thought things were looking good in certain possessions, and then after that, you're asking someone in their second year to go ahead and be the offensive catalyst, and he's just not ready to do that. A lot of these players right now are just learning how to compete at the NBA level and figure out how they can be consistent in that. I think Boucher is going to relish in his opportunities, offensively at least, to go ahead and knock down shots and show that he can contribute in that regard. Unfortunately, without a full roster, the Raptors are going to be playing well in spurts and not consistently enough. And we saw that last year, where they have 2-3 minutes of really good basketball, and then they have 8 minutes where they look like they're not in a position where they're going to be able to compete in a game. And unfortunately, there will be nights like this, but I still think this is a retooling year and not necessarily a rebuilding year, because they have talent. Even if you go and draft another player now, it's going to be rinse and repeat. That rookie's going to come into the NBA and have to learn how to play here anyway. So I think it's more so, what can you take from every game that you did well, and what can you correct that you did wrong in each game, because every game is going to be a chance to learn and to grow. Yes, this is an ugly loss for Toronto, but again, there's certain things that the Raptors can control, like their height. And when you have guys that are 7 feet tall, it's going to be hard to do that. And any ball screen that you're in, if I'm in a ball screen with Mobley or Jared Allen, I'm smiling because I know I'm going to get a layup or it's going to be a lob. So it's really hard to guard that, and most teams in the NBA are going to struggle with that. Now, again, when it comes to correctables, positioning defensively, the Raptors are going to watch the tape and they can correct that, and they have a chance to go ahead and implement that in the next game. That you can control. And again, saying to yourself, okay, well, we had a drop-off. Okay, when did it come? And why was the reason for that? Was it because, you know what, we maybe missed some shots offensively? Okay, well then that's going to drain our energy. You have to find a way to go ahead and correct that. Agreed. Because it's a long season, and if you don't have it on one end of the floor, you have to find a way to do it on the other end. And defense, you can always control that, right? So even if you're not making shots, and I know it sucks. It's hard to play defense when you can't score offensively. It definitely does. But I know Jonesy knows that. I've been there myself. So it is hard, but you have to control one end of the floor, and the Raptors are, if they don't, they're going to have games like this. But I'm still saying to myself, this is more of a retooling year. Let's see who else they can get maybe to bring in here that can contribute right away, because I don't think it's going to be in the draft.
Well, and Warren, you make a great point. The defense, it doesn't take anything but effort, positioning, paying attention. Those are things that you can do without the ball, and that's why your defense has got to keep you in games. Something that Darko talked about, concentrating on and getting better, but tonight they give up 59%. Let's see if they can be a little bit better on Friday night against Philadelphia.
Jonesy, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
All right, Jimmy.
Have a good one. Cleveland 136-106 over the Raptors. This is Raptors Game Night on TSN 1050.
Did you wake up to this?
The great Matt Sundin, our guest. When you run into fans, Leaf fans, whether it's here or abroad, what is the goal, the moment that they reference you with the most?
Like, if I talk to Leaf fans, I think that 500 goal, I think, against Calgary at home, it was a hat trick. It was
you paid Kriprasov to let that in. You paid Kriprasov to let that in.
Carlo, he didn't see it, okay?
That's true. That's true.
But I think for myself, personally, I think if I shut my eyes, I can see going down to a game in the playoffs, early May or mid-May, game day in Toronto, business people on Bay Street going to their job in their suits, but they put the Maple Leaf jersey on top, and just that excitement that I think is special for Toronto. I think once you get in the playoffs, you feel the whole city is behind you.
First up with Korolnik and Koliakovo. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on TSN 1050.
You ain't first, you're last.
Whatever the weather, CMC Markets is here to help. Planning for a rainy day? Enjoy $0 commission on U.S. and Canadian share CFDs. Riding out the storm? Get ahead of the curve with lightning-fast execution speeds. Blue skies ahead? Go with the trusted broker backed by over 30 years experience. Switch to CMC Markets and join over 275,000 global traders. Learn more at cmcmarkets.ca. FX spreads apply. CFDs involve a high degree of risk. Member Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Umbrella not included.
From the first coat to the finishing touches, Beauty Tone ensures your project is perfect, down to the last detail. So get everything you need to do the job right. And hurry into the Great Renovate sale before October 30th. Save 15% on a gallon of Canadian-made Beauty Tone trim and door paint. Plus, find great deals on our Beauty Tone interior ceiling paint, starting at just $33.97 a gallon. Small details make a big difference with Beauty Tone. Rethink color, only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations.
A Canada's Wonderland Gold Pass is your ticket to unlimited visits the rest of this year and all through 2025. Make the park your own with access to 2 years of Halloween Haunt and Winterfest. Plus, face nature's wrath on the all-new Alpen Fury in 2025. All for just 12 payments of $9. Plus taxes and processing fee up to $9.99. Online only. Hurry, price goes up November 3rd. Get your Gold Pass at canadaswonderland.com.
For over 85 years, Rona has been at the heart of all your renovations. Over these 85 years, we've seen it all. Carpet, linoleum, hardwood, ceramic. But if you're not ready for that carpet to make a comeback, we have an offer for you. Until October 23rd, you can get Montserrat porcelain tiles and laminate flooring for just 85 cents per square foot. And until November 6th, take part in the Win Your Renovation contest for a chance to win up to $85,000 in Rona gift cards. That's enough cash to renovate that bathroom that'll never make a comeback. Details at Rona.ca.
Making your lousy commute fun. Overdrive with Hayes Noodles and the O-Dog every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Raptors game night live from Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and Warren Ward with you. Raptors lose 136-106 on opening night, 30-year anniversary, and their very first game was November 3rd, 1995 at Skydome, and they won 94-79 over New Jersey, and there were 33,000 on hand for that inaugural Raptors game. Big night that was. This was, it started out with some promise, but I have to be honest, when Quickly goes down, and that was a really bad crash on his hip, so it's a hip contusion. That could take a while. When he leaves the game, you're already without Olynyk, R.J. Barrett, and Bruce Brown. This is a young, the support players are young. And so this is going to affect them.
And, the inexperience of just, understanding when the ball is moved in this position where I need to be, and understanding as soon as I come off of this, whatever action, these are my options.
Right. And
the speed of it looks slow up here, but when you're down there and you're going through that, your first, second game, whatever the situation is, some players just can't put that all together right away. And personally, I don't expect them to, right? And again, you're getting thrusted into roles that you're not used to. Now, the positive side to that is each time a player is put in an uncomfortable situation, they have a chance to grow.
Right.
And we've seen that with Grady, where Grady, in the first quarter, he drove baseline, he bumped the defender off with the shoulder and shot a fadeaway. So not only did he use his dribble to attack the rim, he got physical with the defense, and he made the shot, something we never would have seen last season. So by throwing him into the fire, you see his confidence grow, and that's exactly what needs to happen for the rest of the young guys on this team, so that they can go ahead and develop. And the faster they do that, the better things will be for this organization. Because at the end of the day, the faster these players can get better, not only will the Raptors be better, but they have more trade value. So if they do decide to get rid of somebody, which in sports and basketball will happen, we don't know. As we've seen last year, OG, Pascal, everyone got traded. So, if you do that, Pascal and OG had trade value. Yep. So, you can get something in return, whether that's a pick or whatever the case is. So, you want to develop players so that they can not only contribute now, but also in the future, and then you're looking to get better. So, in this situation, I'm happy that the Raptors have this bump in the road, and they've seen the intensity and what it requires every single night. And Cleveland came in here and essentially punked them after the second quarter, but because of the adversity in the first game, they have a chance to grow, and throughout the season, year in, year out, they're going to continue to get better. And once you add the starters back, they're not going to be asked to do as much. And like I said, I'm still content with saying that this season will be a retooling, not a rebuilding.
So, everybody got on the floor tonight, and that's part of what you're saying there. The other thing is, while you're learning where to be, count on the opposition already knowing that. So that's a sort of a double-edged sword there. I want to go to Shed, just because even from up here, when you watch, there's a lot of athleticism there. How do you project him?
Apparently he watches film like a coach, and he plays as though his life depends on it. That's what the article I read today said, and I would agree with that. I think defensively he is like a Davion Mitchell, but I think he's more offensively polished. He makes really good reads as well, and he picks up full court, and that's really what you need. You need that type of intensity from someone, because those are the type of plays that it's just effort. He's not out there asking for the ball in any sort of position. He's just there to give effort and energy. And if you can get that for 10 minutes and he's going all out, then, again, that's only going to contribute to winning. And I personally, I like his game. I think he's someone that the Raptors need to have, and I'm glad they drafted him. I mean, he was the reason why. I mean, better yet, there's a reason why he was Defensive Player of the Year in the United States last year. In all of college, he was,
Right.
So there's a reason for that. He moves his feet extremely well. They have two guys that do that, and I think in spurts, Davion Mitchell and him can come in and change things offensively. Change things defensively.
Warren, it was great to see you and work with you again, and I look forward to your participation in Yes Guy, the radio show at 1:15 tomorrow afternoon.
I can't wait. It's my favorite thing to do. We're gonna recap this all over again.
That's right.
That's right, Guy.
Thank you. This is Raptors Game Night live from Scotiabank Arena on TSN 1050.
Fall for Subaru by enjoying fall.
Runs through Sirius XM FC.
Scoops for Suarez. Squares for Messi. Goal of the season.
Fresh off a record-breaking regular season, Leo Messi and Inter Miami kick off their playoff campaign against rivals Atlanta United.
It's a great one, and it's headed in by Brooks Lennon.
Miami versus Atlanta, Friday at 8:30 Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. And listen to the game in Spanish on App Channel 999.
SiriusXM Triumph. Get real answers with Dr. Laura.
No nonsense advice about relationships, marriage, kids.
Tough love.
It happened is not a phrase anybody uses when they take responsibility.
Inspiration.
Every time you go to bed with a negative thought, you have to match it up with a positive one. That's your new rule.
Dr. Laura. Plus, Megyn Kelly, Glenn Beck, Nancy Grace, and Dave Ramsey. All on Triumph. SiriusXM 111 and on the SiriusXM app.
What's up, college football fans? It's Eric McLean and Kelly Gramlich here from Gramlich and McLean. Wake up with us every single morning on SiriusXM Channel 371.
Join us each day at 7 a.m. to get the most in-depth ACC football coverage. We're giving you post-game recaps, player and coach interviews, as well as picks for your favorite team each and every week.
Coast-to-coast coverage every single day. It's football season, baby. Let's go.
Gramlich and McLean, weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Eastern on ACC Radio, SiriusXM Channel 371.
The National Basketball Association on SiriusXM. For a full list of games and channels.
David Gus Bell, better known as Buddy, played over 2,400 games in the major leagues, mostly with the Cleveland Indians and Texas Rangers. During that time, Bell hit 201 home runs and added over 1,000 RBI, en route to compiling 2,514 hits. An impressive career for a player taken in the 16th round of the 1969 amateur draft. The native of Pittsburgh, who played high school ball in Cincinnati, also suited up for the Reds and Astros near the tail end of his career, but he never had the opportunity to face major league pitching in the postseason. Bell holds the dubious distinction of having played the most games in the major leagues during the era of divisional play without ever getting a sniff of October baseball. Ferguson Jenkins is the first Canadian-born baseball player to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. The native of Chatham, Ontario, got there because he was a dominant pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, earning 6 straight 20-win seasons and taking home the 1971 Cy Young Award as the National League's top pitcher. A 25-win season with the 1974 Texas Rangers was his high watermark, and Fergie finished his 19-year career with 284 wins, over 3,000 strikeouts, and he walked less than 1,000 batters. Yet for all his greatness, Jenkins also never had the chance to play in the postseason. After beginning his career in 1965 with the Phillies, he also served time with the Red Sox, as well as a second tour of duty with both the Rangers and Cubs, retiring after the 1983 season. Jenkins was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1991. For It Happened in Baseball, I'm Mick Kern.
SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio is the place for expert advice, strategy, and information for the best fantasy sports analysis to win your league. Plus, hear pick-by-pick coverage of live drafts and interviews with top players, coaches, and team executives on SiriusXM 87.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM sports schedule for Wednesday, October the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Indiana Pacers. Pistons on Sirius 106 XM 212 and Internet 888. Pacers on Internet 891. 7:30 p.m. Atlanta Hawks face the Brooklyn Nets. Hawks on Sirius 119 XM 213 and Internet 880. Nets on Internet 882. 7:30 p.m., Miami Heat take on the Orlando Magic. Heat on Sirius 137 XM 214 and Internet 895. Magic on Internet 901. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Raptors on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 907. Cavaliers on Internet 885. 7:30 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers face the Milwaukee Bucks. 76ers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 902. Bucks on Internet 897. 8 p.m., New Orleans Pelicans taking the Chicago Bulls. Pelicans on Sirius 139, XM 216 and Internet 898. Bulls on Internet 884. 8 p.m., Houston Rockets face the Charlotte Hornets. Rockets on Sirius 138, XM 215 and Internet 890. Hornets on Internet 883. 9 p.m. Utah Jazz face the Memphis Grizzlies. Jazz on Sirius 160, XM 217 and Internet 908. Grizzlies on Internet 894. 10 p.m. Portland Trail Blazers face the Golden State Warriors. Blazers on Sirius 106, XM 212 and Internet 904. Warriors on Internet 889. 10 p.m., LA Clippers face the Phoenix Suns. Clippers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 892. Suns on Internet 903. In NCAA college football, 7 p.m., Kennesaw State faces Liberty. Kennesaw State on Internet 971. Liberty on Internet 970. 7:30 p.m., Jacksonville State faces Middle Tennessee on Internet 972. In the NHL, 7:30 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Capitals on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 950. Flyers on Internet 940. In Champions League action, 3 p.m., Barcelona takes on Bayern Munich on Sirius XM and Internet channels 157. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM sports schedule for Wednesday, October the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Indiana Pacers. Pistons on Sirius 106, XM 212 and Internet 888. Pacers on Internet 891. 7:30 p.m., Atlanta Hawks face the Brooklyn Nets. Hawks on Sirius 119, XM 213 and Internet 880. Nets on Internet 882. 7:30 p.m., Miami Heat take on the Orlando Magic. Heat on Sirius 137, XM 214 and Internet 895. Magic on Internet 901. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Raptors on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 907. Cavaliers on Internet 885. 7:30 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers face the Milwaukee Bucks. 76ers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 902. Bucks on Internet 897. 8 p.m., New Orleans Pelicans taking the Chicago Bulls. Pelicans on Sirius 139, XM 216 and Internet 898. Bulls on Internet 884. 8 p.m., Houston Rockets face the Charlotte Hornets. Rockets on Sirius 138, XM 215 and Internet 890. Hornets on Internet 883. 9 p.m., Utah Jazz face the Memphis Grizzlies. Jazz on Sirius 160, XM 217 and Internet 908. Grizzlies on Internet 894. 10 p.m., Portland Trail Blazers face the Golden State Warriors. Blazers on Sirius 106, XM 212 and Internet 904. Warriors on Internet 889. 10 p.m., LA Clippers face the Phoenix Suns. Clippers on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 892. Suns on Internet 903. In NCAA college football, 7 p.m., Kennesaw State faces Liberty. Kennesaw State on Internet 971. Liberty on Internet 970. 7:30 p.m., Jacksonville State faces Middle Tennessee on Internet
and analysis
972.
from MMA to boxing and the professional wrestling world 24/7. SiriusXM Fight Nation, SiriusXM 156, and the SXM app.
For SiriusXM Sports, I'm Ryan Payton. You know, Novak Djokovic has become only the third person to hold all 4 Grand Slam tennis titles at one time. 2 players have completed that feat in a calendar year. Only one has done it twice. His name, Rod Laver. In 1962, he competed as an amateur and became the first player since Don Budge in 1938 to complete the calendar slam. His hardest test came on clay, winning 3 straight 5-setters en route to the French Open title. In all, there were 22 wins for Laver in 1962. Now, until 1968, pros were not allowed to play in Grand Slam tournaments. When that rule was changed, the Open era began. This, of course, meant Laver was banned from the majors for 5 years of his career. But once the doors opened for professionals, he burst onto the Grand Slam scene. He won the first Wimbledon of the Open era in 1968, defeating top-ranked amateur Arthur Ashe in the semifinal in straight sets, then went on to win the final. Laver would win a total of 11 Grand Slams as both a pro and an amateur at this time, despite being banned from Grand Slam play for 5 of his best years. He won 6 doubles Grand Slams, 3 mixed doubles titles, and he also led his Australian team to